I'm your DM, Jack, along with Katie playing Aelin,
Hi.
Chris playing you,
I am you.
Travis playing Azir,
Hey guys, I found a bargain at 5 liters of wine for $18.
Tony playing Ocelot,
Hey guys, I feel like your catchphrase should be something piratey because you're a swashbuckler.
I'm not a pirate swashbuckler, though.
Christian
nice
playing
swashbuckler.
Relentless,
Thanks. That's me.
Justin playing Hrothgar,
Bringing up that rear, like in booty terms.
Butt stuff.
and David, who plays Vincent, had to work tonight. And if he's lucky, he might be cut early, but he probably won't be here tonight.
Yeah, no, if he was gonna be cut early, he'd probably be home by now.
He was
So-
fighting the terrorists.
Last week, you came into the brew town, met some of the interesting people inside. Hrothgar found a pair of bracers he really liked, but they're quite expensive. Sensei gave his punch daggers to the blacksmith, along with you giving his shield to the blacksmith. Relentless's punch daggers, I said Sensei. And having met with the brewmaster at the inn before night came of an incident that had happened along the road where the northern town's brew to be sent down to the southern town to be then sold to the major cities had been attacked by, as the report said, a bandit. They had been hired to return these to the southern town. 80 gold per barrel of the 24 barrels that were supposed to make it there, plus extra if they go to the northern town and retrieve the rest of the barrels and bring them back with them, as well as capturing the bandit alive and bringing them back is their deal. So you guys slept. I gave you a long rest, and it's morning, and the brewmaster is standing out in front of the inn, waiting as you guys proceed to exit after having finished breakfast.
Fuck Europe.
Champion Gungnir is dead.
Oh God.
Long live the queen.
So how many days have passed? This is just the next day?
Yeah, this is just the next day.
Okay, well, I still need another day for my daggers, my knuckle daggers to be finished.
Well, he wants us to leave lickety split.
Well,
So
let's
I
go
have to
do
this
it.
one wrong dog.
I still got claws.
So he looks at you and goes, "Remember, every barrel is 80 gold. Bring them all back. And if you can, get the rest from the northern town and bring it with you. And whoever did this, I want them alive, 'cause I'm gonna kill them."
Okay.
Nobody steals from our town or our brew and gets away with it.
All right, let's shove off then.
He points to the northern road just north of you. He goes, "Follow that the whole way. There's only one road with a couple of splits that leads to the northern town. Just follow the signs. It'll take you most of the day to get there."
So
Okay.
we should travel at a breakneck speed, right? You guys?
By the intentions, you understand that if you're going to the next town, you're probably going to have to spend the night there.
Or we could camp on the road too, potentially.
Or you could camp on the road.
I'm looking at all of our characters here, wondering which one's the best one to ask on how to keep a guy alive. But I'm seeing like an assassin, a berserker, a priest.
Yo.
I mean,
You
Yeah,
did
Ocelot,
watch.
you have hold
Did
person.
kind of watch me paralyze somebody.
Yeah.
I think some of you guys have rope.
The paralyzer.
I definitely have rope.
Well,
Yeah, but you
Ocelot
can't
has
run
sex
if
rope.
you're held. Goddamn right.
I'm just saying, you telling us that he has rope is a lot different than Ocelot telling us he needs rope. I'm just saying.
You has a string with coconuts.
Let's get weird.
Damn, coconuts? It's a hell of a string of beads.
Damn.
Alright, so I'm gonna need to try not to rage because can't hold it back.
Well, as we found out, that is technically not in the rules.
It is in my roleplay though.
That's fine. So you guys hit the road.
Yeah.
All right. Are you going to take your cart? Because you know that.
Yeah, because we need to get the barrels back.
Okay.
Right, so we're gonna need that capacity.
Well, you know, you assume that they would be on the carts, that they were on.
Yeah, but those cards
Full
might
of
be fucked up though.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially
I
if
just
you got
wanted to
me.
double check. All right, so who's driving?
I'll drive.
Jesus, take the wheel.
I'll drive. I seem to have a
I
good...
don't think we want me driving.
Since Vincent's not here, I'll uncharacteristically sit up front with Relentless because this is kind of a mission I started.
Yeah, Vincent's just sitting in the back this time.
Vincent's
Quietly.
here. He's just hammered.
A little drunk from drinking too much last night, sitting in the back with a book in his lap.
He had one too many hookers and cocaine.
He's probably sour about that blacksmith.
Books upside
turning him
down,
down.
not even open.
So,
You need perception checks.
I need perception checks.
Attaboy.
Snake eyes.
Very nice, you. Very
Keep
nice.
it in line. Keep it in line.
You know, I was gonna say, oh, I'm gonna fly above the cart today, but you know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna look at the back.
You know, I really appreciate that all of you got an 11.
And you got a 22.
What's 11? You mean 1d1?
Yes.
So what do we see?
Oh, shit.
So you travel down the road, and it's pretty uneventful. It's a lot more grassy as you travel down because you realize that there's a river that's traveling down. It's surprisingly low. It's only got like maybe 6 inches to a foot of water, but it looks like it's supposed to be a bit deeper as you look up, and it's on your right side as you're traveling north. Looks like it's supposed to be probably 3 to 4 feet deep, but it looks extremely shallow right now. After you've gone out of town and you've walked a bit of ways, and you keep proceeding forward. And let me get all this together. So you guys are going down the road. It's extremely uneventful. And then you get to a sign, and one tells you to which way the northern road is, and then the other one just has a label for the mountains on it. Which way do you go?
To the northern town. But I'm not driving.
Yeah, I think we're gonna keep going north. That's what the guy said to do. To get his barrel backs. His barrel's back. So we're gonna keep going north. Damn barrel backs.
I had to check. You never know.
Is that like a hollaback girl?
It's up on Barrelback Mountain.
Get out.
Look, I ain't no
Whoa.
barrel back girl.
Well fucking played, sir.
Ain't no barrel back girl. Quasimodo looking ass bitch.
Alright. What I'm actually doing is making sure that this map I'm going to share with you guys I made isn't too fucking massive.
Or has 37,000 unnecessary enemies.
Yeah, when I loaded up the orcs, they actually doubled up. There were only supposed to be 20 lols, but there were 40. Is everybody getting the map?
I got it.
Slowly.
Yeah.
Scroll all the way to the bottom, and it might take a minute or two to load.
I got it.
That's pretty good.
So don't move yourselves yet. Oh, damn it.
Who's spitting me?
Sorry, I like to play kitty roulette.
It's about to be Russian roulette. Keep playing. Only every chamber's
more-
loaded.
I'm more impressed that you know, have a gun in these times.
And as you guys begin traveling down the road, you look ahead and you see 2 barrels lying slightly on the side of the road.
That seems rather convenient.
Ale ho!
Can you smell
You
it?
can move
God
freely
damn it.
now.
We're trying to get all of our squares situated.
I know, I'm looking over, you're all spinning in circles.
Been hanging out with Azir too much.
There you go, I fixed most of you.
How fast are we moving in the cart?
You've slowed down a little upon seeing these barrels.
We have 2 horsepower. We're not going that fast.
Yeah, so you could hop off.
I
yeah, but
activate.
that's like 40 duck power.
Oh,
I'm
not
gonna
this
activate my
conversation.
boots of striding and springing to do a running long jump out of the cart, 48 feet to the nearest barrel.
Damn.
Go ahead, give me acrobatics.
Mm-hmm.
I think jumping is athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is?
I'm not doing a flip or anything.
Alright, yeah, then athletics.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
You do that quite spectacularly.
Natural 20.
You somehow get a running start in the cart and proceed to make that long jump from there over the horses, over the ground, proceeding to land yourself right in front of this barrel.
Very
Over the
slowly,
horses and-
apparently.
To grandmother's house we go.
It's John Woo style. There are doves and everything. You slow motion. Yeah, I said doves. So I land and I just wrap my arms around this beautiful barrel. Is it full?
No, it is not. You realize it's empty, and it looks like the
Goddamn.
top has been torn off.
All right,
And
well,
you then get a little more. Oops. Damn it. Drawing the line for this is cool.
technically the guy said 80 gold per barrel, right?
He did.
He didn't say it had to be full.
Well, good amount of technicality. I'm saving it. I'll take it back to the car.
And upon getting a closer look, and you guys can all move yourselves up to about where Hrothgar is, because the cart hasn't stopped moving. And you guys see another cart up ahead, and several more barrels.
Are they all empty?
And Ocelot, you instantly stop as you get here.
It seems to be
And you see a sleeping frost giant laying in the river.
That seems excessively large. Are they really a 3x3?
Yeah.
They're swole.
imagine getting snoo from that.
I think
I like
found
that
my
it's
new
during the
character.
objection point.
I mean, if it's asleep, I'm not gonna fucking wake it up.
Could you imagine how
as-
terrifying?
The rest of you can move yourselves up as well, if you want. And as you look around at all the barrels, you're kind of getting the understanding of what has happened here.
Yeah, Frost Giant got tilted.
Oh, for fuck's sake, there goes all that gold.
Gold.
No, I'll get you the gold. He said barrel. He didn't say they had to be full.
Aw.
You guys are worried about the barrels? He wanted the culprit back alive. How do you expect us to get this frost giant back if it is in fact the culprit?
Hang on now, I actually speak giant. I might be able to wake her up gently and ask her to just come with us?
Relentless kind of looks at Rothgar like gently and Rothgar don't go in the same sentence.
As you say that, I pull out some rope. Just kind of
I could wake her up.
If we tied all our ropes together, would we even have enough?
You would have enough to tie your hands together and probably make like a string that you could pretend pull her along with, but you know that you could definitely like tie your hands up with what you have.
Can I ride on her shoulder?
I mean, you can attempt to if you wake her up.
I think the best course of action would be to let Rothgar, since he speaks the same language, if she doesn't grunt at us and try to kill us.
Well, also, could you play me a little ditty and give me some inspiration, perhaps?
Yes. Oh, let me have a second. Sorry, I started grabbing something. Yeah. I can also gently wake her up much more easily than you can.
Well, you do that, and I will brace, since I know giant, to negotiate with her.
I am going to perform a very nice, soothing melody that will wake her gently.
Okay. And Hrothgar, you're waiting.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna perch up on this rock, because she's laying down in the river, right? So, like...
Yeah, she's not actually on that rock. She's more like here.
Alright, so I'm gonna
With her
squat over
head
this
being what kind of where her hand is, you know, so she's not drowning in the water.
rock. Okay.
So she starts to roll and look over at you guys as her eyes slowly begin to open. She hears that melody and she leans up a little, looks dead at Hrothgar, and immediately turns over on her hands and knees and begins puking into the river. And after she finishes puking, she's shoveling huge amounts of water into her mouth, trying to drink it and washing her mouth out. This takes her about a minute to do, and everything proceeds to wash down the stream. And Hrothgar, as you guys are standing there looking, you realize that the stream that's going off to the right isn't natural, and that those rocks were probably placed there by her as well. You also see a couple barrels behind her on the other side of the river, and she finally sits up more. She's sitting with her knees out facing towards you in a position, and is looking like wearily, hands down hammered at Hrothgar, just staring at him.
Alright, as she starts to rouse and vomit and add to this river's girth, I'm going to turn over my shoulder to look at Relentless, remembering what he said about Hrothgar and Nice don't mix. Then he'll turn back to her and start screaming in giant. And I am going to burn an inspiration.
Quick question. Do we
The
know
best-
how many barrels we're after?
Yeah, I think
You
it's
24.
Yeah.
You see,
Okay.
if you count them, you see 1, 2, 3, 4,
I
5,
see 11.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 3 on the northern end. One's probably pretty hidden under the tree. There's 2 on the rocks, 5 next to the one cart, and 2 to the south.
You can take Bardic Inspiration off me. I burned it for a 1.
How do I take it off you?
Click the little winged Pegasus foot next to my thing, and then you can just turn it off.
I would like
Ah.
to mention that this is the best use of inspiration I've ever seen.
So I rolled, intimidation instead of persuasion. Because I'm proficient in that.
Well, we just gonna play the ball as it lies.
Let's see how she reacts. The gist of what I said is I'm scolding her for drinking all this shit and telling her she needs to come explain herself and follow me right now.
So since I'm not gonna type this up because stream and whatnot, but those of you who speak giant, and there are only two of you, are the ones who understand this. She looks around and is just like, oh, but I don't wanna. And she slowly stands up to her full height, and you realize she's relatively large for even a frost giant. She's standing at 22 feet tall.
Someone get a
Hrothgar?
I have a solution. Someone get a lasso. I'm gonna levitate her.
And she's clearly stumbling because she's still drunk.
Hrothgar stands up when she stands up, only to 4 foot, but his arms are crossed over his puffed out chest. He's not impressed. He needs that gold for those braces.
And she looks down at you and she goes, what did you want? More ale? And she looks and points to the northern cart that you realize is undamaged and has its canopy over it. It probably contains the other 12 barrels you're supposed to return.
Okay.
And
I tell her in giant, go pick that up, and we're going to see the brewmaster. There's plenty more ale down there, and you can explain to him what's going down.
she looks at you and she goes, don't tell me. And then you see a blue light ring glow around her throat. And she just goes quiet and she's like, and she proceeds to walk over and pick up the cart. And only Hrothgar saw that.
Good. I'll hop down and get back over the group. Alright, let's get ready to go. She's gonna bring the rest.
Should we get
We might
the
as
other
well
barrels?
take the. I mean, I think we should. I have a feeling I can.
You notice
convince
that
him.
the second cart is smashed in half. And the cart she picks up and puts over her shoulder has one wheel in the front that's busted.
Okay.
You do realize you could probably repair that with one of the spare wheels from the other busted cart, but there are no horses to be seen.
I mean, I have horsehair, but I feel
This
like
is
Yeah.
big, and he would struggle to pull this cart by
I
himself.
was gonna say we have a giant. I don't know why we're worried about it.
Well, if Ocelot still wants to try and finagle when we get back for the empty barrels, I will help
Sure
put those in
do.
our cart.
You
Yeah.
mentioned this
Alright, so-
this wheel is busted. Would it? Where'd you go?
Although, to be honest with you, she'd probably be happier if we fixed the wheel.
That
think
wheel,
it's her
could the break in it be less than 1 foot in dimension? Maybe.
Yes. Tell me what you're getting at.
Mending.
I have the cantrip mending.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, then you can take another wheel, take the busted stuff and line it up in place and use mending and fix it.
Hooray! I do.
All right.
Mending would just fix the broken one if it's small enough.
Yeah, that's what he did. He fixed you fixed the broken wheel.
Hooray! I do that thing you said.
So like yeah, as she picks it up, you see the busted wheel, and you mend it, and she doesn't even notice and puts it over her shoulder, and she proceeds to walk back over towards you guys. She's clearly looking straight at Hrothgar, and in giant she responds, and she's like kind of still tilting side to side from being hungover. What's your name, bearded man?
Alright, well, I'm going to use my running long jump of 48 feet to get as high up onto her as I can and scramble up on her shoulder because I'm not going to sit down here and yell. So, what do I got to roll to try that?
Give me athletics. You jump up, and you make it just high enough up to the waist, and you gotta. And as you like are pulling yourself up, you realize that her belt is not 100% tight,
This is my
and
fucking
it
stuck in her
begins.
Ghana.
No,
Okay.
here's the full picture of her, by the way, for everyone. I'm not great at Photoshop, so imagine that being her Rothgar now on the side.
Oh, so do I make it up there?
Yeah, so she reaches her hands down and puts you up on her shoulder, and she's like, "What's name?"
All right. I tell her my name, and I clamber into the cart that's on her other shoulder and start checking to make sure.
Do
all
you
the
tell her
A's are
your
on.
full name?
Yes. There's no need to be ungentlemanly about it.
All right. She looks at you and goes, "My name's Jorn Gora." And you can see her now in the party sheet.
I'm gonna crawl up all inside that.
Things that
Do
don't
you
go
say
so
that as Ocelot?
No, but shit's gonna get fucking weird.
So she's just standing there waiting for you to tell her where to go.
Oh yeah,
She
I
has
constructed
no
them.
idea who the brewmaster is and where he is.
Yeah, I tell her just follow the road south and take your time. I see you're still hungover.
Yeah. She like just steps over you guys, not like to stomp on you or anything, and just proceeds to walk with her Rothgar on her shoulder.
As she passes, can I fly up and try to perch upon that axe?
It's not an axe, but it's a giant staff. I didn't have anything. I couldn't edit that out, but yeah, there is
Fair
a
point.
staff on her back,
Can I
and
do
you
that?
can fly up. Give me an athletics to try and land on it.
Holy
Well,
moly.
it's shaking around.
You got this.
I don't got
No. As you try and you fly up to it, and like you're holding out like your feet, like the claw, and land, and it's like swinging back and left and right, and you go in again to try and get it, and you miss again, and you realize that this might not be a good idea.
I resigned to just flying near the giant.
Yeah.
I'll call
And
down to
she's-
the rest of the team and let them know like what her name is, and that she's, turning herself in.
Yeah, and
Be
she's
it seems-
still just like walking down the road. She's heading south, by the way.
Well,
Yeah. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we still had to go to the northern town. We got the barrels, but we need to go to the town.
Why?
There's more there to collect. So if some of you guys want to grab the cart that we brought, that's empty.
Wait, I thought we had 24 people, 24 barrels.
So there was
You-
24 barrels that was delivered, and then he said go to the town and get more, because the current shipment was attacked. Get the 24 barrels if we can, apprehend the thief, and get more barrels.
Get
I
basically
mean-
a second delivery that hadn't come out yet.
Realistically, if we're going to split up, we should probably do me, Relentless, and Aelin, and Azir, and then the other three can go with the giant, because you
Mhm.
have a fucking giant, which you probably actually only need like one or two. We have a giant. He's just cat-like and a little smaller.
Yeah, that
I'm
makes
cool
sense.
with that. That's split.
All right, so Aelin, Azir, Ocelot, and Relentless proceed north. And you see Vincent turning and go, "All right, I got it," and goes running.
Hold on, before we split, we need a cart.
You
You
guys
guys
do
have-
have the
We
cart.
still have our
Okay,
cart. Yeah.
we do
you
have
guys
our
have
cart,
your
alright.
cart and the two horses.
All right,
I
I
can-
misunderstood.
Yeah.
I can
You
also
see
mend
Vincent
the-
like trucking it down the road, trying to keep up, and you realize that Vincent cannot keep up with this frost giant.
Well,
And if you
you
want,
mended another cart. Can Vincent take that cart down? So.
he mended
Vi-
the cart.
The cart
that's on
she's
it.
carrying.
I can
oh,
also
The
mend
other
the
cart,
other one.
the other cart is
I-
smashed to pieces.
Gotcha.
You're
Super
not
simple.
mending
Super
that.
simple solution. Vincent
Oh.
can have Horserer till we get back.
All right. So Vincent gladly accepts Orcerer and gets on and goes. You just shake the reins and goes, "Hey y'all!" and it takes off, and he just goes flying down the road.
He'll figure it out. He's facing the right way at least.
Nat 20 animal handling.
All right, and we're gonna go with the northern group first. So you guys are looking to yourself as you see the giant quickly going out of view, as well as you flying up in the air and Vincent holding on to dear life. And you proceed to get on your cart and go north. And a couple more hours down the road, you finally get to the northern town. And I don't have a map for this one. It's just 2 shacks, basically. You realize when you look at one is a giant brew house, and the other one's kind of basically where everyone lives. It's a giant house-like inn. And you get closer inside, and a man walks out of the inn and approaches you guys and goes, "How can I help you?"
We're here to pick up a delivery. Sorry, I was
Oh,
yawning. We're here to
delivery.
pick up delivery for. I don't remember the guy's name.
For the
The
brewmaster
Yes.
of the southern towns.
Yep.
Our guy said there was some kind of bandit or something terrorizing the roads. You
Yeah,
took
we
care of that?
We fixed that.
All right.
I'm gonna
Well-
sing him a tale of how we gloriously defeated a frost giant in battle.
So
Deception and performance.
give me deception, performance, and sing me the song. Like at least give me 2 sentences of what you say to him.
Well, the song is shit, but he probably deceived them.
Oh man, I was hoping I'd roll really badly so I could sing "Sir Robin Ran Away," but
You might as well be.
I tell him a tale of how our harrowing dwarf approached the frost giant and jumped up at its kneecaps and took them out one by one, and
He-
fouled her to the knees, and we hog-tied her with magic chain.
He looks at you and is just like rubbing his head to listen to your thing, and he's like,
Do you
A
use my full
frost
name
giant.
in the story?
Of
Just out
course, I
curiosity.
use your full name.
Oh man, the legend spreads.
"Is like a frost giant." Our guy
Yeah, I
just
mean,
said it was a really big person, like
You
12
sh-
feet tall.
You
I
should
can't
have
believe
seen this
it.
guy.
Those idiots
Like,
are lucky they're alive.
I mean, he had like 2-foot hops just to hit the kneecaps. It's super impressive.
He believes you. 100%. Although he
Perfect.
doesn't exactly enjoy hearing the story you're telling it.
Your shit's all out of tune.
I'm
So-
fine with that.
Yes, all right. Well, if the brewmaster hired you, come get the rest. We have the 2 other carts loaded up over here. And you look over, and there's 2 massive carts, like the one that you saw put together, each with 4 horses on it. And he looks back and he goes, "I guess from your tale, the horses had run off."
I mean, we didn't find any horses.
That's a pity. All right. Good luck, and well, if you took care of the frost giant, these roads are extremely safe, so I'm sure you'll have a pleasant way back.
I hope so.
Relentless wants to speak with the guy.
He's standing there looking at you.
He
You
asked
want
him
it?
about the rocks that are blocking the south stream. Is that something that has always been present?
Rocks blocking the south stream? No. That's new. Why are rocks blocking the streams? All the streams that come down from the mountains here connect into one large stream, and then they go and feed the southern village. So blocking one would probably take out quite a bit of their water. And if it's the main stream on the road, they're probably pretty low.
That
If
would
there are
explain
rocks
the
blocking
ship.
the way, could you move them for us?
Yeah, that would be nice if you know, a certain giant would have moved those rocks. But as you can hear from the tail, and he kind of glares at Ocelot, the giant was taken care of. But we'll see what we can do.
Well, Ocelot said that you guys captured it. Her Hrothgar.
Yeah, I did. I am going to make you feel confident and lie to him and tell him that you can move the rocks and like with one arm and juggle them.
Give me a deception check.
Damn it!
Ain't
I'm
nobody's
so
asking.
He looks at you and frowns, and he goes, "If you can move some, I'm sure we can get the rest at a later date."
Relentless clenches the ball of yarn in his fist in frustration that you just pretty much said that he's too weak to move the rocks. And he reaches over and grabs you by that little scruff of the neck that cats do, and he knows that it
Oh.
exists, and
He
carries you out.
didn't say you were too weak. He did say that you were too very strong, but he said it in a lying manner.
I said you could juggle the rocks, which was a complete lie. But when you do that, I put my hands up like the shrugging. Well, what can I do?
Nothing.
Boom, boom,
Hold on, I've
boom,
got a picture for this.
boom.
Well, thank you, sir. We're gonna take our leave. And Relentless walks out with Ocelot in hand and instructs the others to load up the remaining barrels onto our cart so we can take them back to the southern town.
Yeah, you have 3 carts now. You have your cart with 12 barrels in it, and then you have 2 carts behind you that also have 12 more barrels each in them. So you're going to need somebody to drive each cart.
Well, I'm gonna vote. So if we have 3 carts, Ocelot is definitely not riding one. I'm not trying to have a horse be on there backwards.
I'm getting better at it.
Well, go ahead and try to hold one. If you can roll animal handling past 10, I'll let you ride one.
All right, you're on.
Nat
Aelin,
one.
Azir, you guys also need to
Oh,
give
shit.
me animal handling.
I'm learning what I'm doing.
He knows the front from the back of a horse now.
One end bites me, the other one shits at me.
Which end do you shove carrots in again?
I'm sorry, did you say shits in me?
Shits at me.
Azir?
Wait, is this your drunk? Should you roll a disadvantage?
Yeah.
Is he
Aelin-
awake?
Aelin-
Then yes, he's drunk.
Aelin looks over and sees him drinking and goes,
Yeah, no.
gives the nod of she's got it.
Wait. Are you guys talking about doing something with the horses?
Yeah, we need people to ride the
Yeah.
carts back.
Yeah, fucking Azir's not about that life.
It's alright. I'm actually able to handle one for once.
Alright, so it'd be
So-
Relentless, Ocelot, and Aelin all on a cart.
And Azir is sitting with...
Azir, you have to pick your favorite one. To
Yeah,
travel with.
Azir. Who are you with?
Who's drinking right now?
No one.
All
Not
the
in your
drinkers are
group.
down south.
Fine.
You don't know my
You said-
life. If I rolled lower, I would have say I'm drunk, but I guess I'm not.
Basically,
Stay
we're gonna
over.
play cat elf. Then you have to pick, like duck goose.
I pick Ocelot.
Neat.
I
All
hand
right.
Ocelot a drink.
I gladly accept and start drinking with him.
It's terrible to drink alone.
And you guys
Agreed.
begin to head back down the road.
Can we stop at the rocks to see if I can in fact move a couple?
Yes, you get back to the rocks. It's getting pretty late. So you're gonna give it a try?
Yeah, but I'm gonna try to move the main one in the center where the water is actually coming out.
That's a great idea. Move the
All right.
keystone while you're in the middle of the path for the water.
Listen,
Do
drunky
it.
McDrunk. Shut your mouth.
I'm just saying, I'm drunk and I know
Give-
better.
Give me a strength check.
Yeah.
Zero's watching
Cue
this.
the Ryu
intently.
training under a waterfall music, please.
So you do get that rock out of place. You can't really lift and throw it anywhere, but you get it off. You pull it out and place it to your right, just up on the ridge, out of the water, and then water comes flowing out at you and knocks you to your butt. And more water starts coming in, and the rocks seem to be a bit looser. So you're pretty sure you can move a couple more.
Move my way over to the next one. Go to push it to. Let me make a marker here.
All right, roll a. Just give me a strength check at advantage.
Time to break into the next liter of wine.
All right, it takes you about an hour or so, but you clear up this area without sustaining any injuries. And the water is flowing instead of off to the right, back down south again, properly along the river. And you realize you guys can probably travel a bit more or set up camp around here for the night.
That is very good work you did there, Relentless.
When you step out, you look at all of them. It's just standing there staring at you. Golf clap. Nice. None of them helped you.
Channelization is a serious part in this part of the world. Serious problem. You do good work.
Relentless kind of stares at his ear from his first comment that he made, and then gets down on all fours, and then just starts to shake.
The moving the rock in the middle was not in character.
He does it anyway. You need to sober up.
Good luck with that. A
I
lady's
don't think-
gone for the night.
I don't think he can do that all at once. The cumulative hangover might literally kill him.
You're right. A little bit of hair of the cat.
God, haven't you ever heard addiction is a disease?
Explains your face.
Oh, so now you're diseased?
Don't tell Ocelot that. And by the way, I zoomed in on your face again.
So,
did you open the link I posted?
are you guys going to try and press through the night to
yes.
get back to town?
Will we suffer exhaustion
Yeah.
if we do?
You will have to roll for exhaustion checks.
I mean, we're going to a town, so fuck it.
But from what they've said, the road's pretty safe, and, well, if the only threat on this road was a frost giant.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like if there's a threat on the road, it's fucking dead now.
Yeah, that's a good.
The B
point.
team will handle it, I'm sure.
All right. Well, we're gonna push. We're gonna push through.
All right.
What do you mean B team?
And when you guys hit that point of the night where you're too tired,
Stands
that's where
for
I'll
Beth.
switch to the southern group to see what they're doing.
You,
All
I'm
right.
still upset your name's
So
not
you've
Boo.
left your 4 other companions to head on south without them. And as you're traveling down, you realize that you're probably not going the fastest because the giant is stumbling along, clearly hungover.
Yeah, that's fine. I will ask Yarngura and Giant, like, so how'd you come across all that ale? Did you have a rough night? Like, why'd you have to drink so much? But as I do that, I'm doing that more of a distraction, and I do the little thing with my fingers where I point at my eyes and then point at you, and I kind of wave him over.
She doesn't really look at you because you're sitting on her shoulder. And she's just like, I don't really remember how I got here. But, I had to drink the pain away, and lucky enough, some people brought me the ale right to me.
Oh man, I should have hung out with that frost giant. I feel like we have a lot in common.
What sorts of pain are you going through? The physical, emotional? Blah,
Little
blah.
of both.
I'm waiting for you to come over here. Do you see me?
You can fly over.
Oh, yay.
Cheers flies with you, a little of both. And you're the only one who can understand it.
Okay. I will whisper to you if he comes over, like, I saw something about the necklace, but I'm no wizard. Could you fly down to Vincent and ask him to, like,
Oops.
check it out for us?
I can
Unless you're
do that.
skilled in the arcane arts that I don't know about.
Oh,
Give me
I can check it out myself, actually. I will try to check it out first. Since you mentioned a necklace, just kind of
you're
look
trying to
down.
whisper and be quiet.
Yeah, like in between asking him this, I'm also loudly shouting at her and Giant, like continuing the conversation. So who hurt ya? Yeah, that kind of thing.
She turns and looks at you and goes, "What about necklace?"
Oh well. When you woke up and I started talking to you, it looked like it was glowing at me or something, like the sun might have hit it, but
Yeah. You look at her. Where you saw it glow, there is nothing there. Like she has no necklace on. Now that
Oh.
you're up close, so you're a little bit confused.
Okay, well then I will inquire. Like, didn't you have a necklace earlier?
She like reaches up her hand and rubs her throat, and she's like, "That's a punishment I've received."
To have an invisible necklace?
I can't disobey a request politely asked upon me.
Well, how about that? Say, do you have any more of those, like, elf size?
I wasn't the one who put the magic on myself, so I
Right.
don't have any more.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. If you want to talk about it, we've got quite the journey. Tell me about this person who put this on you.
She sighs deeply. It's a punishment for disobeying the Jarl. He's old and soon to die, and we were holding contest for the next Jarl, and I was accused of cheating.
Did you?
No, never.
All right.
She rubs her head at hearing her own loud voice hurting her. It's like, was accused of cheating, and they believed him, and they banished me, but they wanted to make sure I would suffer for what I did. But I don't understand. Where are we? I mean, I was in the unmoving ice, or the sea of moving ice. And everything's so unbelievably hot and horrible here. And the ground's all soft.
Can I roll history? Do you even know what the hell where she's talking about?
Yes, give me a history. Thank God I made that one low for you because of who you are and the fact that your character would know this. But here's the map of Faerun.
Oh man.
All the way up north, you see the Rigid Glacier. It's north of that by like a few hundred miles.
Okay.
And you guys are all the way down by the river Solduskun. So you're very far away from where she is, where she's from.
Right. Well, I will relay as much geographical knowledge as I can with a roll of 8 to to kind of help maybe tell her where she's at, but it probably wouldn't
All
help
right.
her much.
So
if she's
you
not
look at her, and you're just like, you're very, 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 and you say very like 40 times, far away from home. And she's like, very far. You just very far. And she does it. She's just like, I don't understand how I got here. Maybe it was something they also did to punish me.
Could be. Who knows what frost giants want? Or what powers they have, other than being big and cold.
Yeah, when you're sitting on her shoulder, it is quite chilly. Her body, it feels to you like her body is radiating cold. Not anything to hurt you, but it's
Yeah.
incredibly comfortable compared to the extreme heat around you for the most part being in a desert area.
Yeah. Well, so she seems pretty like upset about her life situation, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, I will crack open my barrel with my command word and pour just a little bit into like a mug and walk over and hang on her neck a little bit, like around the back of her neck with one arm, and then with the other one pour the cup towards her lips to offer her a drink from the Brewhammer Ale.
It's the Brewhammer Ale.
It's the Brewhammer Ale.
So she can kind of see what you're doing, and she opens her mouth, and you pour it in, and she's like she's really tasting it, and she says, "That is delicious. It's even better than what I drank earlier. Can I have more?"
Sorry, it's limited supply, but that should keep you level-headed for the day at least, and take
Yeah,
your mind off your problems.
she seems to perk up a relatively large amount from that.
We'll see what I can do when we get to town. When one of my silver-tongued colleagues arrives, maybe we can not have you hang for what you've done, or anything like that. This brewmaster's pretty upset.
She just laughs and goes, "This spell bounds me to listen to people who ask me polite requests, but I doubt I'd willingly lay my head down for somebody.
You know,
I hope. I don't know how powerful this spell is," she kind of whispers.
Well, let me try something. I'm not really a riddle master, but it seems to me if someone were to politely ask you to stop following polite orders, it might cancel it out. So I'll try that, and I'll just politely ask her to don't ever listen to anyone who's polite again.
She sits there, and she's standing there walking, it's just like thinking about it, and you see a faint blue glow around her neck for like a split second, and you can see that it's a band made up of words in giant, but it goes by too quick for you to see.
Okay.
And she's just like, "Oh, well, I don't know if that'll last forever, but I like that trick. I'd like to see it keep working."
Yeah, nobody deserves to be a slave in any way. So, I think that's really all I needed
All right.
to talk to her about.
So you
If you have
guys,
any questions,
yeah,
I can relay them.
you, Chris, are you muted? You're muted.
I certainly am. I take it that our conversation between Hrothgar and you ended, as far as that was concerned.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
she
heard
overheard.
she heard your conversation.
Okay. Then everything else was in giant, correct?
Yes, so you didn't understand anything.
I'm just gonna cock my head as a bird does.
You did see me give her a sip from my barrel, which I've not let any of you have.
You guys
That
also
is true.
realize that she heard your conversation in common.
That's true.
Yeah. Hrothgar, isn't that barrel special to you?
Aye, very special, but this lady, she's had a rough bit of life recently, and it's the only thing I know that can help with that.
Your brew is that good.
Well, it's not my
You
brew.
hear her reply in
Oh.
giant, the best.
Ah, thanks. It's the brew I'm trying to recreate. That's all I've got left from the stores 10 years ago.
And then you hear her in giant. You're trying to make more? Can I help?
Well, if you know anything about it, sure. And if you don't hang, but I doubt they have a tree big enough for you.
You see her like reach down and pull out some kind of bag from behind her, and it's about the size of you, and like kind of holds it up a bit in front of you for you to grab.
Okay, I'll grab it.
And when you open up and peer inside, there's a brew kit inside with a bunch of spices and other types of things that you realize that people would use for brewing. And you also see the symbol on the side of the bag is the same one that's on the side of the brewing carts. Which is just the symbol of a mug.
Okay.
you-
Are any of the ingredients in there the forbidden fruit that Aelin spoke of from the north? Because she's from the north.
As you dig through it, there is none.
Okay. Was she offering to give me any of these, basically? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, you get the feeling that she's like, the bag is yours.
Well, that's awesome. So, I'll take everything I think I can use to recreate the brew from taste and put it into my bags.
All right, and she'll take anything you didn't and just like rehangs it back on her belt.
Yeah.
And any last things before it's getting late now. You realize you're
Well, we went about
prob-
halfway up, found her, and then started back. So I think
yeah,
we can
you
get
guys did like a 2.5 out of 4 travel, so you realize that you could stop and camp for the night, but you're a couple of hours and risking the exhaustion wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, I think we could get home in another hour or something. So we should
Yeah.
try that.
Yeah.
All right.
I
North
will.
group. Oh, sorry.
I just want to, talk to you a little privately as much as I can. If she overhears. But I want to ask him, like, hey, I know, you're into that whole murder thing, but I don't think from what I've got talked to her and Giant about, I don't think she should die for what she's done. She made a mistake. So if you can help make sure she doesn't get killed when we get back to the brewmaster, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, she kind of raises an eyebrow and goes, "He wants to murder me? For what?"
Well, I don't think he knows you're a frost giant for one, but he's just upset about losing his profits, but we're bringing most of it back.
I feel that
She goes, "I guess I did drink a lot.
Hmm.
I did pass out, and I try not to do that. I have to drink a lot to do that."
so logistically speaking, am I basically excuse me, sitting next to Hrothgar?
Yeah,
Or
if you want to land, you can sit next to him.
alright. So then I am landed and sitting next to him, kinda lean over. I think she's a bit too big for me to handle anyway.
You hear this kind of giggle come from her. All right, and you guys are gonna truck it through the night for the last
Mhm.
couple of hours.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Returning to the other group, you're gonna truck it for the rest of the night on the way home.
Yep.
So, give me Constitution saves, and why is there an unnamed person in my top right corner?
I'm sorry, I'm just messing around.
Because somebody wants to love you.
Anonymously, though.
It's only
Ooh.
anonymous for now.
I just wanted to
So,
mess around in the books, and it wouldn't let me open a second instance of the game, so I could have set it up in my own thing.
That's fine.
so when you guys roll, it always confuses me as to who's who because you both have pink dice. I like it. Keep it up.
Azir.
Constitution.
Oh,
There it
Relentless.
goes.
You can do a con save instead of a con check.
Yeah, I said save, and I think your thing is higher for saves.
There you go. That's one.
So,
Did I break it?
Ocelot, as you're sitting there writing down, Azir has clearly gotten a bit too drunk and almost leans over and falls off the cart, but you grab him and hold him down tight.
Oh, in media.
And you guys keep traveling. You're probably about 3-4 hours behind them. So it's pretty late into the night. But back to group 2. You guys are getting back to town now. Sun's gone down. It's probably around like 9. Like it's dark out, but there are some lights on in the town.
I confer with you, but I think that the best strategy would be to have her set the cart down, have Vincent and maybe myself take the 2 carts in. Is he driving a cart? I forget.
He was just on horse river.
Oh, that's right.
Vincent's on the horse and he's like just trying to keep it still and keep going. He's like, yeah, whatever you say.
I just think that we shouldn't take her into town yet, and we should wait for the other group to meet up with us outside of town with her, and then decide what we want to do as far as turning in the bandit.
I completely agree. Bringing a frost giant into a town middle of the night,
gonna
super bad idea.
Yeah.
All right.
I will also note that like everybody knows that I'm very good with talking to people
Yeah, I'm waiting for you.
most of the time. So yeah, I was gonna say.
So I'm gonna move everyone back to the main town map.
Okay.
So you're all the way on the northern end.
Yeah. Oh, look, there's
So-
some trees up here we can hide her in until we figure out what to do.
So we got Vincent, you, and Hrothgar, and then you guys are up the road. All right, so you guys, you're not on the map yet, group 2, but you can see the edge of where you're about to enter it. And so she's just like still walking. She's like, you want me to walk straight into town?
No. Go ahead and put that cart down and let us take the brew from here, and you hide behind this tree, and we'll wait for the rest of my group to catch up, and they'll know what to do.
She
I'd like
goes,
to-
okay. And she puts her hand up to her shoulder, and you step down into it. And as she places the cart down, she places you next to it.
Mhm.
And then you guys begin to pull the cart physically because and you tie up the one horse that Vincent's onto it, and you, Hrothgar, have to physically help pull it because it's a pretty big cart.
Okay, I will ask you to stay with. Actually, let's ask Vincent since he's not here. He stays with her and make sure nothing bad happens until the group gets there.
Yeah, so she goes and sits in like a grouping of trees, and Vincent sits across from her, and he's just like looks up and like looks around because he couldn't hear any of the conversations, so he doesn't have a hint that she knows coming. And he's just like, you see him pull out a book, and he's just like looking at her as you guys disappear back into town.
Okay.
All right, so you're going into town. Move your tokens. Let me know what you're doing.
I'll just bring the carts down towards the brewmaster's establishment.
Um, are we back in town?
You guys are not.
Okay.
Yeah. This cart's a two-man job, so
I'm guessing we'll have about 5 minutes before we're back in town.
Yeah, you got time. So if you need to, if Group 1 needs to take a leak or anything, here's your chance.
Yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back in a couple minutes.
All right, so
All right, so let's get this thing down to the brewmaster.
I
all
think he
right,
was
so you
building
guys take it to house 3,
Yeah.
and you walk up and knock on the door, and the brewmaster opens the door. Who is it at this time of? You're back. And he looks over and sees the cart. You got my cart. You got my ale.
Most of it, yeah. And we got it back pretty quick.
Excellent. Where's the rest of your group?
They're on the way. They'll probably be in before the night's up. And we have the bandit, but we're keeping them in a safe location for now.
That's great. I'll meet you here in the morning. You guys can keep everything together till then.
All right. Sounds good. We'll see you in the morning.
All right. Thank you. I'll get your gold together too. And he
We'll be
closes the
staying
door.
at the inn where you found us.
All right. And he closes the door behind you. Behind him.
the blacksmith wouldn't happen to be open, would she?
She is not open.
Then to the inn I go.
We should have brought Aelin with us. She could steal all the stuff for us.
Well, there is another solution.
What would
But
that
no.
be?
Realistically, this nothing town is probably of no consequence anyway. In that the story of murders attributed to Ball wouldn't go anywhere.
So they're beneath your interest.
Exactly.
I gotcha.
They are of no consequence.
I'll wipe some sweat off my brow for that one.
And you all are very useful.
I don't take offense to that.
Exactly.
I'm used to being useful. I'll even regale you with a tale of like how the Bloodbeards, even though they were a strictly dwarven group of berserkers, were loaned out to orc tribes that were warring in the wastes and all kinds of other things. So we're used to being useful tools. We're the best at what we did.
Am I DCing?
Not yet.
I don't think so.
It just told me Ocelot Deadeye's connection lost, waiting for reconnection. He must be fixing his internet. Well, do you guys have anything else to say? Because even though he's not there, Group 2, Group 1 is ready to return to town.
You can bring them on in.
All right. And you guys are just going to be waiting at the inn. You're not going to try and meet them as they enter town.
No, because we left Vincent there, so like
Yeah.
he can tell them
Vincent
what
can
we're doing.
tell.
All right. So it's now around midnight. Group 1. You're entering town. You begin to enter town. Everyone give me perception checks. Except for Azir, you're asleep.
Fuck yeah, I was about to say that.
Well, not... You're passed out.
Is there a difference for him?
Right now. Aelin? Katie.
Yes?
Perception check. Tony rolled a 9. Jeez. God. Every time I roll for Ocelot, it's terrible.
3.
So Ocelot and Aelin don't notice it, but Relentless, as you're coming down the road and entering town, you see a frost giant laying in a group of bushes clearly passed out in sleep, and Vincent sitting on the ground next door. And he looks over at you and like waves, and he's clearly like extremely tired and about to fall asleep himself.
Relentless kind of. I'm just gonna stay on the cart, kind of roll up next to him, and just look over at him like, "Hey, what's the story?"
They went inside to the town. They said we shouldn't bring the Vrostrian in until morning, and I thought they were gonna come back. I don't know where they are. Maybe they're talking with the brewmaster yet, or they're at the inn.
Whoops.
Well, I'd say keep watch, make sure she doesn't decide to become a sleepwalker. I'm sure that'd be pretty bad for the town. So
He looks at you, looks back at her, looks at you, looks back at her, looks at you, and goes, "Yeah, I'm on it." In a sarcastic way, like, "How the fuck would I stop her?"
we progress. Keep up the good work, Vincent. I need to deliver this stuff.
He's gonna come back exhausted as shit.
So you proceed down to the center of town. Everyone. I dragged his ears because I honestly just assumed his token was drunk, so I did it for him. But
Azir
as
is
you-
drunk in real life and in game life.
as you get to the center, you see the other cart tied up in front of the brew house, and you see like a couple of lights on at the inside the inn. You, Hrothgar, are you guys still awake, or have you gone to sleep?
Let me give you a con save and I'll tell you. I'm probably up.
Hrothgar's probably
No.
awake. You, give me
I've moved to bed.
all right, you has gone to sleep. So you guys get the gist of tying up your carts and then heading to the inn to meet the rest of them.
I'll greet them when they come in the inn.
You walk inside, and Hrothgar's sitting at the bar.
So I've already delivered the first payload, but he said he'd come check out the rest in the morning. And that we have the bandit up in a safe place.
Sorry about that.
That's cool.
So Ocelot, in the morning, you'll need to convince the brewmaster not to kill our frost giant's bandit friend.
Okay.
Good. Let's get some shut-eye.
All right. So Ocelot hugs Azir over his shoulders, and you guys all proceed to go to sleep.
Yeah, I do.
Yep. Yeah,
All right.
Ocelot's exhausted.
Everybody, give me a con save.
Oh,
Absolutely everyone.
Can you
I
take the
will.
one I just did?
In
No.
a couple of minutes.
I don't know. Okay.
It's working on loading right now.
The
I'm
DM
gonna roll
for you.
yours for you.
Okay.
Oh shit, Vincent.
Does you need to do one even though he's already asleep?
Yes.
I got the same con save that I failed earlier.
Okay, so morning has come around. Everyone is fully rested. The first person to wake up is Hrothgar, and you're down in the inn.
Okay.
It's still pretty early morning.
I'd like to order enough bacon for the party for when they wake up, so they can wake up to the smell of delicious meats.
All right, 10, 15 minutes go by. Aelin comes walking down.
Well, good morning. Have some bacon.
I'll just quietly sit down and eat.
How was my con save?
12.
Okay.
And then another 10 minutes go by, and you hear screaming outside.
What the fuck is that? I get up, bacon falling out of my beard as I run out.
I'll walk out behind him.
Moving all you guys like to the house. And you see walking into the square of town a frost giant.
Oh man.
God damn it, Vincent.
I call out to her in
He-
giant.
He rolled so low, he rolled a total of 5 on his con. I was like, oh no.
I'll call out to her in giant and throw my hands up, like waving to her, like, "Young girl, stop! What are you doing? You're going to scare them."
She
Cool.
stops and it looks down at you, and she's just like, well, I was thirsty and hungry.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I go back into the inn and order like 4 times the bacon I already ordered.
When you go in there, the bartender's like, what's all that commotion? And as he's looking up past you, you turn around and see one of the windows open up on top of the like second floor. You see her looking inside, and all you see can really see is like her eye. And he's just, what the fuck?
Does this bartender have any kind of facial hair?
Yes, he does.
I reach out and grab it and pull him so he's looking back to me. And I said, "Bacon, now, before she eats you all."
He looks at you and goes, all of the bacon, got it.
Yeah.
And he walks to the kitchen, and you hear him, cook everything, all the food, all of it, get the drinks ready.
And I scoop up as much greasy bacon in my hands as I can, and my arms and my chest, and I run out to give her what I can right now.
So when you come out with the arms full of bacon, she sits down, legs under herself, sitting position, and, like, reaches her hand out and takes the bacon and just puts it in her mouth, and she's like, thank you. Now,
Is there like a horse trough nearby or something she could drink from? Because I can't carry enough water for her.
there are some, but she looks over at when you mention that, and she's also like, I'll drink from a river once I figure out where it is. And she's still speaking in giant.
Yeah.
She's like, so where's this person who wants a piece of me?
Well, just wait here. Let my group get up, and we'll bring them to you. And
Yeah.
I'll stand guard here and make sure nobody tries to fuck with.
So all the commotion happening outside. Everyone else, you are awake.
Okay. I go down to meet Hrothgar. I'll skip breakfast. Clearly, there's more important things. And have him take me to the brewmaster.
I'll point out to you that it's just south of us at building 3 there.
All right. If nobody else wants to come with me, I will go alone and try to talk to him before he figures out what's happening.
Vincent comes riding down the street on Horsey the Horserer, flopping around, and he's like, oh man, I thought I lost her.
You had
Thank
one
God.
job, just the one, and you fucked it up.
You were supposed to come back for me.
You should have
Who's
said
this
that.
coming
Honestly, oh, you expect me to stay up all night?
Do I see this happening?
Yes, you can. You walk out as this is
I
happening.
look at Vincent and I'm like, how? She's 20 feet fucking tall.
He's like, I don't get it. I didn't even hear her wake up and move about. She's a giant. It's like I can't even hear her walk. And Hrothgar, you come to this realization that you haven't heard her stomping around, even while she carried you. You really didn't hear her walk.
I clap my hands together and then do spirit fingers as I pull them apart and go magic.
Vincent rolls his eyes so hard at you. And then he looks up at her and goes, is it magic? She just looks down and goes, shrugs her shoulders.
I am gonna go to the brewmaster now.
All right. Is anybody else heading off to the brewmaster?
I'll join him. Let him know we got the carts back.
All right.
Because they brought some, and we still have the other ones, right?
Yeah, we
Yep.
brought
Yeah.
half of the delivery that got trashed, and you guys got the full delivery for the second.
Yeah.
We got the full second delivery, and they got half of the original delivery intact.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna head to the brewmaster as well, and I'll need 2 people to accompany me to bring the rest of the shipment. Because I can't drive all 3 carts.
I volunteer.
I'll help you bring all the carts.
Oh, you guys left all the carts in front of the brewmaster's house.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You had
So,
one fucking
There,
job,
even
Tyrone.
your carts there. So all four. There are 4 carts in front of the brewmaster's house. 3 of them are full of 12 large barrels each inside, and 12 are empty that are in your cart. And
Okay.
Jorn Gora is looking down at Hrothgar and goes, so, about that water. Do I have to just sit here, or can I go get something to drink?
You
Does
should
she
not
have-
let her go to the White River behind the brewmaster until after I've talked to her.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell her to stay put for now. It won't take long.
Does she happen to
when
have
you
a
see-
open container?
When you tell her to stay put for now, you see the blue ring glow around her neck.
Ah, my riddle trick didn't work.
And she just goes, all right, hopefully this won't take long. All right, so Relentless and Ocelot, you guys have gone there. Aelin,
Yep.
you're staying with Hrothgar.
Yeah.
And Azir, are you still asleep? Even
No,
though you
I
are
woke up, but I'm staying with Hrothgar.
All right.
I
So?
think you was gonna fly down to the river with one of those empty barrels and maybe get some water and bring it back. Is that what you're thinking,
I can
Chris?
certainly do that. Oh, I was planning to create some water, but that works too.
Do you have the spell to create water?
I certainly do. Does she have a place to put it? Or her giant hands?
Just tell her to open her mouth and
She
create it in her mouth.
cups her hands together.
Then I will create water. And there's a spell. Spell slot.
How much does it make?
10 gallons of water.
Woo!
I was gonna say normally enough for about an adventuring party of 4.
Yeah. So she sees the whole 10 gallons. I mean, that's a lot of water. Kind of fills up her hand. Yeah.
So some of it obviously is gonna spill out because her
She's
hands
like,
are
yeah,
covered, right?
keeping her hands quite cold. You notice that, like, when it gets in her hands, that, like, the bottom part, so the water that touch her hands actually freezes up and creates like a bowl of ice in her hand. And she waits like a second, and you see the water like get cold and chilly, and then she drinks it. Wait.
Okay. I
And
was
she's like,
hoping that there would be like a pseudo shower coming out of her finger crack so that I could get some of this bacon grease off my chest, but that's fine.
All right. So Relentless, Ocelot,
I thought you only bathed in the blood of your enemies.
you guys knock on the brewmaster's door, and he opens it, and you hear him, come on, and he's waving you in. Come on
All right.
inside. Tell me how it went.
It went very well. We have the delivery we were meant to pick up, and we technically have all of the original barrels that you asked for.
Oh, nothing was taken? Excellent.
Yes. I am gonna roll deception because that's not the whole truth.
He believes you that all the barrels are full.
All right, because I never specified that they were empty.
And your little hairy friend, the brew man, said you guys caught the thief. Where is he?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
put my hands around his neck and strangle him.
that
luck with
one's gonna
that.
be an issue. You may need bigger hands.
He looks at you absolutely confused.
Well, it turns out your thief was a giant.
He looks at you and he says, I don't believe you.
Well, if you walk outside, there's a really fucking big blue lady who disagrees with your whether you believe me or not. It's just fact.
He just busts out, oh, whatever joke you're playing on me. Fine,
I-
fine. If you brought all the ale back, I'll see it.
I mean, all right, cool.
And he proceeds to follow you guys back outside. And the moment he gets outside and looks past you, he's just like,
Ta-da!
Tell me he just turns around and goes back inside and closes the door.
he,
Nope.
he quite literally looks at her and he's just like, she tried to steal the ale, and
I mean-
you guys got it back from her?
She was successful in stealing it, and yes,
Wait,
we
what
got
do you mean she
all
was?
your barrels. I mean, she took it from you, but we got it back. We have all your barrels back.
How?
Don't worry about that, son.
Magic.
I
That
don't
is-
think I can strangle her.
That is my actual response, by the way. It's just magic.
I
Told you you're gonna need bigger hands.
all right. Once I inspect everything, get
Oh,
it
no need for
together,
that.
I'll get your payment.
I feel
Oh,
like we
guys,
should get
okay?
that payment now because we have some things we have to do. I'm gonna roll to persuade him to give it to us now.
All right. He looks at you and goes, I'm gonna inspect everything before I pay you.
Just remember, the agreement was that we brought you all of your barrels back.
Yes, unharmed, undamaged, and full of ale. The thing that's actually valuable.
I just heard barrels. You did not specify any of those other things.
I also didn't make the deal with you. I made it with, and he points at Relentless, him.
Yeah, and I'm just here to talk for him. He's very moody today. I wouldn't upset him.
Why are you like this?
He rolls his eyes and goes, I'm gonna check the records. But don't worry, you'll get paid.
I don't know why I'm like this, but I love it.
I feel like Ocelot just comes out. He's just my hype man. I am the Lorax. I speak on behalf of the trees.
Alright, so you guys
I'm
gonna
Ocelot.
just sit there and wait
I
while
speak on behalf
he
of the cat.
starts to inspect everything?
I mean, might as well.
I'm okay with it.
Alright, it's gonna take him about 10, 20 minutes to do so. So everyone's sitting with Drungora. You see him come out. You see the utter shock across his face, and then him just like arguing with Ocelot a bit. And then he walks over and he hops into the back of one of the carts. And he begins inspecting them. What are you guys doing?
Let's go check on my shield. Which I think was this one.
It is.
Woohoo! I remembered a thing.
All right. When you walk inside, you see the female orc working away at the forge. You're not sure what she's exactly working on. She looks at you and goes, "Give me a minute." About 5 or so minutes kind of go by, and then she comes over and she's like, "Here for your shield, I take it."
I am.
She goes, "Excellent, excellent." And she reaches behind her counter and pulls it out. And embroidered, carved-ish right onto your shield is the symbol of Baal.
Yes.
And she looks at it and she's just like, "So, what god is that to?" I've never seen it before.
He is.
Tell her you
One
can
of-
show her privately.
He's one of the older gods. You may not have heard.
She
But-
looks at you and she's just like, okay.
Can I take the shield before I explain? Or I hold out for the shield before finishing the story.
Oh, yeah, she hands it to you as you're talking to her.
Okay. So, this symbol is True Lord Ball. Do you know of it?
Never heard of him. Must be a scary
That's-
god if his symbol's a skull with blood droplets around it.
He has been deemed scary in some circles, yes. But all life must end, and Ball simply sees to a quicker end.
Yeah, he indeed sounds like a scary god. But, do you need anything else? I got some work to do. I gotta finish up some of these other projects I have.
No, I'm done. Thank you very much for the shield, for your work.
And she thanks you for paying in advance, like I believe I had you do.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And she's like, have an excellent day. And if you're ever out in the middle of nowhere again in these parts, come by. I can make anything.
Will do. And with that, I leave the shop. I'll end my role-playing portion there, just outside the door.
All right. Anybody else gonna do anything? Just waiting.
I'm just waiting.
Just
Alright.
waiting.
So he finishes inspecting it and he goes, well, you got all the barrels back, like you said. Only 12 of them are empty. And he looks over at the frost giant and he's just like, I can't blame you for that one. And he walks
Hey.
inside and he goes, I got your payment. And he comes back out and he goes, 1,400 gold. 80 for the barrels you brought back that weren't damaged by her. 200 for delivering the 2 carts from the other village, and then 20 per barrel for each of the empty barrels. That's the best I can do you.
I would like to persuade him into giving us a barrel of booze because we lost out so much gold on what was damaged, if you will.
Okay? Persuade him.
I feel like we could make the deal a little bit better because you aren't paying us for a lot of stuff. And I get that you're losing some money, but you still would have made a
Some
lot
money?
more. You would have made a lot more than you would have paid us had they come.
That's how business works.
I feel like you should just throw in a cask of booze or a barrel of booze for us. You know, we have to drink too. And this gold has to go to something very important. So
He raises an eyebrow and he goes, all right,
yes.
I'll give you 1, but that's it. And he hands you the sack and walks over to the back and hands you one of the barrels out of the back, which is like the size of Hrothgar, by the way.
I was gonna say, hey, Relentless, do you want to carry the barrel? I'll carry the gold.
Sure.
Is he here?
He's muted.
Oh,
Sure. I'll carry the barrel.
neat.
How much
All
should we
right.
get?
We got 1,400, which is what Hrothgar needed, right?
About
I need
that.
1,500, but I have a couple hundred.
So he
I tell you you could sell the barrel, but
Yeah,
I have
with
a
your
feeling
guys' help.
Azir won't let you.
You guys quickly empty the barrels out of your cart and put the full one in.
Look, Azir,
And-
I got you a gift.
Yeah. And he thanks you for your services, and then looks back over at the Frost Giant, and he's like, "I don't want none of that. Just don't leave her in our town. Take her with you."
Okay.
And he walks back and closes the door behind him.
Good job, Ocelot. You saved the day.
How much are you short?
I have enough to cover what I'm short.
Are you sure? Because I have
Yeah.
like almost 3, or I have like 200, and I don't.
Yeah, I have like 200 something.
My solution is just to throw money at everything.
So as Ocelot and Relentless come walking back, she looks down at you, Hrothgar, and goes, "Can I get a drink now?"
I thought she
Uh,
got a drink.
She means I think she means it's something harder than create water.
She wants more. You can tell, like, she's got dry mouth from being hungover.
She wants more water or more?
More water.
Okay. Well, I'll wave you back over from the blacksmith. Or actually, when Ocelot comes up, I'll ask
You'll be
how
back
it went.
over.
I tell him how it went, and then I was like, he wants us to take her with us. But I feel like once she's out of the town, I mean, that's really up to you guys, but I don't give a shit if she stays or goes. She's a creature of free will.
It's pretty clear to you guys that Hrothgar has developed a, soft spot in his heart for this one.
She didn't try to kill me. I'm not going to try to kill her.
Yeah. I don't need to enumerate the various uses of having a frost giant on the team, but
When you say that in common, you see her smile, this huge one, and then you hear her mumble slightly on the team in giant.
yeah. And with that, I think I'll turn around and let her know it should be safe for you to go drink. Just be careful where you step. Don't crush anybody's sheep or anything like that.
She nods and stands up and proceeds to step around you guys, and then seeing and smelling the water walks down here. And as she like gets up and walks away, you see a few people come walking out from the inn, and like a few of them are inn goers, and a few of them are barmaids holding plates of food on them, and they're just like, "You just talked our way. We have all this food." And she looks back as she's walking. She's like, "Hmm." And you get the impression that she's probably going to come back and take the food. But she walks down to the river and just starts scooping handfuls of water into her. So, what are you guys doing now?
I'm going to eat my goddamn breakfast.
You've earned it. So how'd you make out? Did he pay up?
He did. Here you go. And I just toss all the coins to him. I was like, you made the 1400 if that's what you're looking for, but I also got us a cask of booze, like a barrel. So, Azir will be happy for a while. I give it like 3 days.
Oh, Relentless, are you sure it's okay that I get all this gold for the purchase I'm trying to make? This is I didn't do this myself. May everybody help.
Yeah,
I have.
but I'm pretty sure without you walking up and initiating the conversation with the giant, that situation could have went very awry. So I don't have a problem. The mission was fairly simple. We didn't do much. You did most of the legwork.
Obviously, Ocelot doesn't give a shit for gold.
Sure don't.
You, Azir?
I do not think that is a good idea. I do not need the gold.
I was gonna say I got Azir's payment.
He slept the whole damn time.
What of you? What of Aelin?
I have no need for this.
Can I go to the shop while they're all talking?
Just walk
Yeah.
away.
Oh my
You-
god.
Like they're talking, they can see you since you're not rolling a stealth.
He also just asked you a
That's
question.
okay. I just want to walk away to the shop.
All right, so she just seems to walk to the shop as Hrothgar is asking people if they're okay with having the money.
Yeah, I'll just watch her walk away and then look to Vincent like, do you need bird feed or whatever for that thing?
Vincent goes, "No, it's a special kind of animal."
Oh, that's not creepy.
He smiles back at you.
I don't like that.
All right, so Aelin, you're in the shop. Hrothgar, you'll be a close like minute behind her if you walk over there. By the way. So what are you doing?
I want to talk to the shopkeep and try and persuade her to lower the price.
Oh.
All right, persuade.
Okay. Hello there. We were here the other day and had inquired about the bracers.
Oh yes, very fine pair of bracelets.
Yes, my friend was quite interested in them, and we were trying to gather some funds. However, we've come up a bit short, and I was hoping, seeing as how an object like that, you may not find people with the goal to buy it readily. You might be inclined to offer a deal for us if we were to pay you gold on the spot for them today.
The brewmaster told me he was having some trouble and that you were helping out. How did that go?
It went quite well. We were able to return his goods. We did make a new friend along the way. If you might poke your head out and see later, quite interesting, really.
She goes, I heard some screaming in the town earlier. What was that all about?
It's just a 20-foot frost giant. Something most people aren't used to seeing.
Her jaw drops open and then she cracks laugh. Very funny. But what was it? Roll
No,
a
really,
persuasion.
it's 20-foot frost giant.
Just take her outside.
Like as you repeat it, she's just like, "You're serious?
Quite.
What?" And she walks over to the door and looks out. And as this is just enough time for Drengor to be like going just past the brewing place, and she just like comes back in and she's just like, "So you wanted a discount?
Yes,
What
that
were
would
you
be.
thinking?"
I know that because some of the barrels came back unfortunately empty, we don't have quite the amount that you were asking for. If we could perhaps get 500 gold taken off the price, we would greatly appreciate it.
I can do that. 1,000 gold for the bracers.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. My friend will be in here shortly, I'm sure, to purchase them from you.
Hrothgar, about this time you would be able to arrive. She goes, "Which friend?"
The small one right there.
And Hrothgar, you're standing in the doorway.
Yeah, I have 1,400 gold in my arms. And I'm like on my tippy toes trying to shove it up onto the counter.
So she sees you put all the gold up on the counter. And she goes, "Your friend has made quite a deal since you've helped our town so much, and I can only imagine what havoc could have been wrought if you hadn't come and tamed the frost giant." And she looks at you questionably and goes, "But the bracers are yours." So the bracers are, on the party sheet for Hrothgar, and I've taken 1,000 gold off of your reward. And she takes 1,000 gold out of the bag and gives it back to you, and she goes, "Good luck on your journey."
Thank you.
Were these like special bracers?
Yes, they were very special.
What were they?
Hrothgar, would you like to tell him?
Because I fell asleep at 10 o'clock last time.
These are bracers of defense.
Oh, shit, okay.
So,
So I'll take the bracers, I'll put them on and kind of admire how shiny they are. And I'll look over to Aelin with like almost a tear in my eye. I'm so happy.
I just will walk away.
Okay. I guess she shoves 400 gold back to me then? The counter lady?
yes. When you add this, just add this on your AC. Put it in miscellaneous too. Because these bracers give +2 to AC. As long as you are not using a shield or wearing armor.
Those are things I don't do. Shit. Cool.
And you have to take an hour to attune to them.
Yeah.
But you'll have time.
Alright, I come back and I give the 400 gold to Relentless to distribute. And I don't want a cent of it. Because I got this fucking sweet.
So Relentless has a bag of 400 gold. Hrothgar
Actually, I'm
goes-
gonna give it all to Aelin. Because she did
Aelin has a
mission.
bag of 400 gold. And what are you going to do with it?
I'll thank him and put it in my bag.
All right. Add 400 gold to yourself.
Cool.
Because none of these other people know that she got the price lowered that much, so.
Yeah.
That's a little tip for you.
So, you guys are all in town.
Think of it as an
The,
investment.
The merchant is standing in the street, just staring down at the frost giant drinking out of the river. And he looks over at you guys and he goes, I guess you are worth every cent. And then he looks over at Relentless and he goes, we're going to spend another day in town, like first thing in the morning.
So we're gonna spend the night here, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when the frost giant finishes drinking water, I want to talk to her and see if she'll understand me in common and use ridiculous hand gestures to try to get her to understand. Or actually, I'll ask Hrothgar to translate.
All right.
I could do that for you.
So, as you guys are sitting there doing a little chit chat, she comes walking back, and the maids are like standing there holding out the plates of food. And she like looks down at them and like kind of kneels down and then looks at Hrothgar and she goes, is this food for me? Can I just eat it?
Yep, shovel it in. You've earned it.
And she reaches down and takes the plates and she's like, ah, hot, hot, hot. And she closes them both in her hands. And after a couple of seconds, opens them up and like everything is frosted over and frozen. And she eats it cold. And then just like goes to hand the dishes back, but the maids are like 20 feet away. She just puts them on the ground. And she's like, so what now?
So, Hrothgar, I tell you how, because feeding her is going to be really expensive, we should make some of that money back. So, what I would like to do is I would like to tell this epic story in the center of town like it's a big play tonight with you and her reenacting, if you will, your battle. And I just need you to go off what I'm saying and you can explain it to her in Giant as we're doing it and just you guys be really melodramatic about it. Maybe people will throw some money at us. It'll pay for all her food.
While
If you
you're
had, if you had
explain-
asked him this on any other day, he would just glare at you. But he's
But
in a particularly great mood right now.
and
So
also
he-
I have to tell the story about how you beat the frost giant.
when
Yeah.
you say battled her, you hear in Giant the reply is battle, but we didn't fight.
I say back in Giant, like, this one likes to tell tall tales. It helps us get out of jams. You know, these people don't accept us all the time. It's probably for the best to just let him do his thing and not worry too much about it.
And she
But then-
looks around. She's like, "Well, I guess I have to thank you for the food and everything else. So, whatever you need me to do."
Okay, before we get into that, Ocelot, I do want to pull Relentless aside for a moment. I just want to say to him, look, my clan's gone, but I think I've never been with this many people that have stayed alive this long. Usually I come back alone from missions, and that's pretty cool. You're basically like family. It's starting to feel that way. So, if he's going to tell tall tales about us, he may as well have a name to give to us. And I was thinking, we should come up with one.
Relentless just crosses his arms and kind of looks at you. Just like, You raise
Josie
a
and the
good point.
Pussycat.
You raise a good point. We do need a name. We are a pretty tight unit. Giggity. What were you thinking?
Well, my people are more blacksmiths than wordsmiths, but the Bloodbeard name carries a bit of heft, but also infamy. So, I like the blood part, but I'm like the only one with a beard. Wouldn't make a lot of sense. And we've got a lot of cats. So,
Ocelot does have a way with words. And is pretty eccentric when it comes to telling tales.
Goddamn right.
I mean, your kind is pretty rare, so a group with more than one of you that's got to catch fire in the ears of listeners. They'll see us coming and know, long before we get there, who we are. That would be good.
Bloodcats. Has a nice ring to it. Yes. Our group is known as the Bloodcats from now on. And he holds out his arm like Apollo Creed and Schwarzenegger.
Yes! I do that too.
You see Jorn Gora stand up and do the same thing as you and saying giant blood cats, looking around like he's supposed to do it as well.
What do you say, Ocelot?
I love it.
Everyone else okay with it?
I think that is a fine name for your group.
Azir, I'm surprised you're conscious after we gave you a barrel of booze. I'm impressed, really.
There is no way he could drink all of that.
I
I
have
didn't-
not been drinking at all this
I
time.
didn't say he drank all of it. I just assumed he put his head in it.
I'm quite fond of the blood part of this name, but you is no cat.
Right, but hang around
Jack,
with
are
cats,
we a
eat
little bit
cats.
north of the desert?
What was that?
Are we a little bit north of the desert that we started in?
Yeah, if you look at your maps, this one, there's a purple dot I have by the Solduskoon River. That's where you guys are.
Hmm. Azir is very deep in thought as he looks around this town.
So you guys have a day to spend here. There's honestly not much to do in this town. So do you have anything you want to do?
Azir would like to walk around and talk to the townspeople.
I'm just gonna start preparing for tonight.
All right. Anybody else?
Hrothgar will go back to the inn and look over the ingredients that he got and try to add to the brew.
All right.
Relentless is going to go back to the inn and see what food he can scrounge up that wasn't eaten by a giant.
I guess we got to put this performance on that Ocelot wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
Azir, you begin walking around town. Most people aren't at their homes. They're out working the fields. So, give me an idea of where you are on the map, what you're trying to do.
I think I walk towards the farmhouses down here right below the 7.
All right. Most of the houses you can just simply tell by looking are probably empty. There's a few people working in the fields behind the houses.
I think I'm gonna walk around and look for people that are around my age or older.
There's a few in the field working.
I want to go up to one of them and ask him how long he's been living around here.
Okay. Yeah, you see a male human. Looks like he's probably in his mid to late 40s. And you walk up to him and he's like, "How can I help you?" And you go, "How long have you been living around here?" And he's just like, "Just about all my life."
DM, can we take this roleplay private? We don't have to.
I
That's
was
too much
gonna
of a
say we
hassle.
can. Do you
Do
want
it.
it?
Do it.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I went to move you sensei and you caught me. All right. He's gotten up, but yeah. All right. So
I
he's
do
looking
want
at you.
to be clear that Azir has not been drinking since like we walked away with the frost giant earlier.
Okay. So you haven't had anything to drink this morning.
No.
You're a bit hungover.
I would like to ask the field hand, do you remember maybe 20 years ago? Oh yeah, by the way, Jack, I didn't think I mentioned this to you. This is like north of that desert is where in my backstory that little war the Azir took part in took place.
Yeah.
So I want to ask, do you remember a battle between the lords of this land and the people of it?
Not really. There hasn't been much fighting out in these parts. If there was a war off to the east, west, or north, we haven't heard about it.
This would have been 20 years ago.
He looks and thinks really hard. Sorry. Never heard of any wars.
I'm gonna continue walking around and asking people if anyone remembers the battle or the war that took place 20 years ago.
You see a relatively older man, probably in his 60s, and you start talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I kind of remember it. Something about a coup, I believe. I don't really know anything about what happened."
Did I wanted to ask, after the battles and after the war ended, do you remember any of these soldiers going home?
No, can't say I do.
Damn.
I'm not entirely sure what you're looking for, but like this is far enough out in the boons that
The other question I have for you is, do you remember any people? I mean, they were dangerous looking at the time. I do not know what they would have looked like then, later. But they wore all black robes and black hoods. They
he
moved
looks at you
silently.
a little scared, and he's like, "No, that sounds like some kind of city stuff. Anybody came out into the areas like this, we definitely have noticed."
Okay, thank you very much for your time. I was
Have a
looking for
good
Azir
day.
to continue his personal quest of vengeance, but that is not the cards today. So I'm done now.
Well, you're in the middle of nowhere. I didn't know what to throw at you. Sorry.
Well, I figured that it would have been like a couple towns over.
Well, you're saying the northern part of the desert, north of Sardash.
Can you pop that map up for me again? Also, could you send this map to me later? I'm trying to build my own D&D campaign, and this map would be very useful. It's a nice map, man.
Yeah, well, I'll give you the website I found the map on. It has a ton more you can use.
It's a good map. I
Right.
was thinking around the Castle Tethir, or even at Castle Tethir.
Castle Tethir.
Yeah,
Oh, that's in the north, right?
yeah, we're at where the purple circle is, right?
Yeah.
At the Darohar.
Oh, south of Darahar?
Well, no, we're at Darohar, right?
No, we're not. We're at the purple circle that's northwest of Darahar.
Oh, so right under the river.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's straight west of us.
Oh, you guys were there. In in that Sarhak Khan, those places are very close together. They're nothing but tattered ruins.
Oh. I didn't know that when I put that my bio there.
I can change it a bit because you guys technically never went there, but
It doesn't matter. Or what is that mistletoe keep?
where exactly?
That is a little bit southeast of Darohar.
That's also ruins.
Damn. Oh well, we'll just say it was some small town, a small town.
I had an
somewhere in
area
this
for
desert.
it, and I'll show it to you later where I was going to put it.
Oh, okay. That sounds
'Cause
fine.
You're supposed to have run quite a bit. Like,
All right.
if you open the Faerun map, which you should have in your maps list,
Mm-hmm.
which is unidentified, so I'll just share it real quick. Everybody's going to be wondering why I'm doing this. Anyways, yours was supposed to be, if you look at where Sardash is, and there, and then go all the way north, there's this place called Prosekur.
Perskull. I see
Perskull.
Perskull.
It was going to be one of the those cities in this area.
Oh, okay.
So you can choose a city. Most of them don't have any lore behind them. Like Darasol, the place we're heading, nothing. I'm making up everything about that on the spot right now.
Oh, okay.
But like if you choose one of those towns and you fill me in on it, go ahead. So does that work for you?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Because I wanted you to have run from home. So we can work more on that later. Off
Okay.
stream.
I will tell you, if Azir ever dies, I made a really cool character.
Yeah, I'm concerned about that, but okay.
Why? It's just a kobold. It'll be fine.
All right. You ready to go back up and chat?
Yeah, let's go. Azir returns to the group.
So you guys spend the end of the day. Azir comes back and sits at the bar with the rest of you guys.
We're back. David just got home. I'm telling him what happened.
All right.
Tell David that I'm gonna come to Florida and give him a big old back rub for being done work.
All right.
So night's starting to fall, and Ocelot, proceed to try and explain your plan or explain what you want to happen, and hopefully Sensei saw my comeback sign.
Yeah, I'm here. You get me?
Yep.
Okay.
Ocelot.
He's probably talking.
Just a second.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll fill David in later.
I need like 10 more seconds.
We found a boozy frost giant and came back to town. The end.
Sorry. So, all right. So as dusk begins to set, I have a makeshift stage set up in the center of town.
How?
That's what I've been doing all day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all I've been doing.
I
And
love it.
I have like some torches lit because it's starting to get dark. Gotta set the mood. And I start calling like it's a fucking circus. Come one, come all. You must hear the tale of the Bloodcats and Hrothgar Bloodbeard felling the great frost giant. And I start doing this to gather people around to hear this
People are starting to
glorious tale.
gather around for multiple reasons. By the way, so we have the center area empty except for Ocelot is in the center. Everybody else can be standing off to the side for the moment.
All right. And I start painting this glorious tale about how this drunken frost giant is confused and wakes up and starts to swing at us. And the mighty Hrothgar goes leaping into the air and hits her in the knees with his brew hammer. And you guys would be like playing this out very
Alright,
overly
so-
dramatically.
In the center of the street,
Yes.
you're all right. Hrothgar, give me that performance check.
12, 13.
And then I tell them about how when he hits her in the knee, she starts to fall backwards, and the mighty Relentless gets underneath her foot and lifts her leg up to trip her over. As the drunken Azir, although I put it more eloquently than the drunken Azir, throws his glove at her, which he's renowned for. And then
Azir's asleep.
Azir,
That's-
are you throwing your glove at her now?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I
from
am.
the side of the audience, they see this man walk out a bit in front and just hurl his glove right at her, and it like
And it misses.
yeah, it comes up like 10
It
feet
hits
short.
the back of the head of an audience member. And
But
Azir,
Ocelot, give me a performance check.
All right.
Clarel's loving everything they see, even the guy who's rubbing the back of his head.
And then I tell about how Vincent was casting his Eldritch blasts, and like that cues David to start shooting them off into the air, so they're nice and pretty and blue.
Ooh,
And
like a laser rocket.
Finger guns.
Yeah.
Blast.
And there was the mighty you, the worshiper of Baal, flying around her head, distracting her. And I kind of look over at Aelin because I know you're really shy, and I give you this look of, do you want to be part of this?
Katie, you're muted.
Sorry, I know. No, thank you.
Okay, I'll leave you out of it because I know that you're like super stealthy and shy, and I'm like, she can be an assassin if she wants to. But yeah, I tell this glorious tale, and like it's very, very over embellished, but like I tell it, and I'm like, remember, tell your family and your friends of the mighty Bloodcats. Spread the word of our power.
And we all take a bow.
Crowd's loving it.
Yeah, I'll instruct in Giant for Yarn Gura to take a bow, and I'll bow with her.
And she gets up and bows with Hrothgar. And she looks down at Hrothgar and is just like, "Did I do good?"
You did great. I think. I mean, that's the best fucking story I've ever heard.
And after the show, I tell like to the crowd, I'm like, if you wouldn't mind throwing in a couple of copper or silver, the giant needs fed, and it's quite expensive. Or just food.
Oh,
At the prospect of an unfed giant, they throw out plenty of copper and silver and maybe a gold piece or two. And in total, you get 22 gold pieces.
I tell Hrothgar, what's the giant want for food and drink? I've got it covered.
Yeah, this is a lot of money. Like, especially for like this town. You're
Yeah.
just like, man, they must really want her not to eat them.
I mean, well, what does she like, Jack?
She looks down with a Hrothgar asking what she likes to eat, and she's just like, flesh, meat, nothing cooked. It's too hot. It already sears the tongue enough with its warm blood. But deer, pigs, and she just starts listing like cows, just
All manner of-
anything like that. Yeah, as she's going along, you swear at one point you may hear her say halfling.
Okay.
Are there any like herders in this town, like sheep or cattle herders?
Yes.
All right, I would like to find one to negotiate to buy her a cow.
All right. You find a guy who's willing to sell one of his older cows.
How much?
And he looks at you and he's just like, 4 gold.
I give him his 4 gold, and then I buy everybody else's like drinks and food for the night. Just let me know what's left
Oh,
over,
you
and I'll
guys
add
aren't
it.
paying for anything. The inn is
Oh.
free tonight. They're happy with that display.
Then I give the remaining 18 gold to Relentless and thank him for his accompaniment for me, because there's always the potential of me saying something stupid.
Relentless is gonna take those funds and pocket them for now.
All right, so Relentless add 18 gold to yourself. And you guys now have a cow. You spend the night at the inn.
Yeah, I wanted to go and ask Aelin if she would be interested in helping me add these spices to the brew with her expertise on brews and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I'll do that.
All right, give me a brew handling at advantage. You add some spices and some flavoring and mix it up a bit more. The fermentation process is still going, but you guys both have this agreement that you need to find the wasteland fruit.
Okay.
Cool.
I would like to make a little small talk just real quick while we're doing this, and I'm sure she's just focused on the barrel or whatever, unless she says otherwise, but he's just going to mention, like, wow, with that Kitty's performance out there, it's probably the first time I've felt like an actual hero. Feels pretty good.
Well, taming a frost giant, when put in that context, is quite heroic.
Yeah. And these braces, they really help sell the show. That's thanks to you a little bit. Appreciate that.
Well, I did tell you that I'd help you with it, so I always keep my word on things like that.
He narrows his eyes into like little beads at you. And he starts to nod and stroke his beard. It's nice and red and fluffy. Still has steak and grease in it. You've been right true this entire time. I've been an ornery little pig. So, Do you accept my apology?
Of course. I know that there are unpleasant elves out there in the world, so I can understand if you've encountered a few of them why you might not like them.
He kind of looks embarrassed, knowing that he's never actually met an elf, and it's just going on hearsay. But he's like, yeah, you're not like other elves, that's for sure. And I meant what I said. If you ever heard me talking to Realness about family, it's starting to feel that. I like that.
Well, I'm glad, and I hope that I can help you maybe complete this brew and find that ingredient.
It's been a hopeless cause until I've met you good people. But now I think we will do it.
Yes, I certainly have hope that we can. Was there anything that you might remember that could help? Any other ingredients or maybe some special brewing process?
I was never around when they were making the brew for the processing, and I'm not sure that's the hardest part for me. But I know that they kicked it up with some sort of pepper. And I already found this, and he holds out his bag of 4 scorpions, and they're still writhing around in there. The venom in these things, that really makes it hot.
Aelin's eyes widen. Well, certainly be careful with those because you don't want too much of that falling into anyone's hands. You know, scorpion venom can be quite potent.
Yeah, but it's spicy. He puts it away. I think that's really all I had to say to you.
Okay.
So you got anything else?
All right. And anybody else, or
Can I slip off before I go to sleep?
give me a stealth check?
Cool. Damn it.
Who has a passive perception that can't see her? Probably nobody in our group. Most of you guys have high dex.
I'm proficient
Yeah.
in a lot of things. What do you need?
Well, if you go to your main tab, there's right next to your senses, there's like a passive perception score. Mine's 13.
Crit.
So,
yeah, you're pretty sneaky, but your group notices you walk out.
Can I just make the excuse of calisthenics?
Oh
Need
no,
to
you're
make
sneaking out. You're not. You didn't tell them you're leaving. You just got up and proceeded to walk out. You're outside now.
Okay.
well, we've reached a level of trust that Hrothgar is content to just stay put.
Yeah, for most of you guys, it just looks like she kind of quietly sleeked off and didn't talk. Nothing really out of the ordinary. You know, she was being quiet, but
I'm drunk enough that I don't care. Like, my character's hammered at this point in the night. I'm celebrating my successful story.
It was very good.
Can I go steal back the gold that we paid?
you can certainly try. Okay. So you get to the shop. What are you doing?
I want to. Is the door locked? I'm guessing yes, because it's nighttime.
You gonna try the door?
Yeah.
It's locked.
Okay. Can I use my thieves' tools to break in?
Go for it. You're at the front door.
Cool.
You open it.
I would like to go behind the counter where I saw her put the money.
You didn't see her put the money anywhere. You saw her put it into her pockets herself. But when you go behind the counter, there's just more, seems to be more items and store things to sell. A couple of boxes.
Does she have anything especially valuable?
It's incredibly dark in here.
Oh,
and-
but don't I have an since I'm half elf, can I see better at night or no?
Yeah, you have dim lighting. You can see.
Don't check
Everything
dark
looks
vision.
like it's in gray, black, and white. You know,
Yeah.
On your main tab under senses, it'll say if you have dark vision,
she
and
has it.
if it's pitch black, everything just looks dimly lit, like black and white, is how it's described.
That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, as you, like, I mean, you want to investigate the shop?
Yeah, I want to see where she has the gold.
Give me an investigation check.
Okie dokie. Fuck.
You know where the cabinet is that had the bracelets in it, and it's locked, but you can't really tell what most of this random stuff's value is. And there's a couple of boxes under one of the counters that have locks. You could assume the money's in one of them.
Okay, then can I open those?
Which one do you want to open? There's one on the
Uh,
top shelf, one on the second shelf, and one on the bottom shelf.
Bottom shelf.
Okay. Give
These
me a
tools?
lock picking. Yeah.
Cool. Why the fuck am I rolling?
You do not open the lock.
Can I try the middle one?
These tools.
Come on, big money, big money.
You do not open the lock. Give me a stealth check. Okay. What do you want to do?
I'll go ahead and just leave. This didn't work out very well for me.
All right. You get to the front door and you close it behind you. Do you lock it again?
Yes.
These tools.
Why does the world hate me?
You lock this one because you already know how to use it.
Cool.
And as you like go skulking across the back the street, and you look into the shop, you see a light inside.
Yeah.
And you realize you've just made it out in time.
I kind of figured. Okay, I'm done. I'll go to bed.
All right, morning comes. Jorn Gora is just sitting out in the street waiting for you guys as you all wake up, proceed to eat breakfast.
I ask her how she enjoyed her cow.
You notice that she has like a kind of backpack on her back, and there's a cage, and the cow's in it, just sitting there mewing.
Okay.
And you notice that she's chewing on like a goat. Well, what's left of a goat.
I ask her where she got the goat.
She just stares at you
I ask
And then
Hrothgar to ask her
points
where
at-
she got the goat.
and points at the inn.
Okay.
Time
Or-
to
Gar?
go.
Are you gonna?
I think her pointing tells him all he needs to know. It's time to go.
It's time to go.
All right. So you get your cart together, and the merchant comes out, and he's like, "All right." And then he leans into Relentless, and he's like, "Is she coming with us?" Pointing over at the frost giant.
Didn't you ask the frost giant a question?
The merchant is asking Relentless, pointing at the frost giant, going, "Is she coming with us, Sensei?"
I'm here. Just looking at the group, like kind of gauging the faces.
She's like standing behind your cart next to Hrothgar.
Rothgar seems to have grown a bit attached to that one. So, for all we did with getting this place up and running, yeah, she'll be coming with us.
Do I have to pay her too?
No, I'll handle funds on her behalf.
Oh, thank God. I was afraid there'd be an upcharge for her height. And I wouldn't have paid it. I only wanted you guys. And let's hit the road. And he hops onto his cart and starts going.
Christian, don't forget your blacksmith.
Oh yeah, that's right. I go back to the blacksmith before we head out and request the items that I left in her care for 2 days.
All right. She, as you come into the door, she goes, "Oh, it's good to see you. I finished your items." She goes, "I like to call them the thoughts and stabs." And she hands them back to you, and like how you wanted it, if you look straight down, you see thoughts, and a blade is coming straight at your face, and the other one has prayers and a blade coming straight out towards your face. And she goes, "It was really hard to work on these, and I told you I'd keep the price low for you. It's 100 gold."
Well, I don't know if you've heard, but I restored the waterway leading to this village.
There was a problem with the waterway?
Yes. So, by me doing that...
Is that about that whole story with you guys fighting that giant?
That would be the one.
She, like, looks around and she's like, 80 gold. It was a lot of work. Very hard magic.
Relentless looks down at them and is like, okay. You got the words just right. She spelled it right, correct?
Yeah, it's literally, she's fused those two items together.
I'm just trying not to get like a no regrets tattoo situation where I break them out and there's like an H missing. If I'm paying 80, I want to get optimum quality.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll take 80 out of my pack.
Alright. So you your new item is a 1d6 it does 1d6 damage. It can be counted as one of your martial weapons, so if you use it as a monk weapon, it's your monk attack or the weapons damage, whatever's higher. And it does psychic and radiant damage, and it counts as piercing as well.
Deimos. That would actually be
So
okay.
all I've done is I've just updated the thoughts and prayers on your thing, so they now have piercing on them.
Oh, okay. That works. Yeah, that's nice.
So, I don't know why thoughts and prayers is only at a 6.
Yeah, you said you would fix that. You
everything
said
else
for
is
some
at
reason
7.
it would be there.
Oh, there. Wait, why didn't that go? Nope.
I got 1d6 plus...
Oh, hang on. There we go.
Alright, cool.
Gotta fix this other thing. Okay. Yeah, bam. There we go.
And I'll take the punch dagger out since I don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Thank you much. Relentless puts them on his fingers and kind of throws a couple test jabs to see if he can feel the weight difference, if they're any heavier.
Yeah. They are a bit heavier. Mainly on the front of your knuckles, you can feel the weight on them. And the way she's done it is she's basically removed the handle part of the a bit of the So basically, what it is you slide your fingers into the brass knuckles, and they have like a handle you hold on to the bottom,
Got it. Okay.
with knives coming out of the top.
Almost
That's
like guitars.
Yes.
Okay. I'm okay with this. Thank you very much, Shopkeep. You do amazing work. And 80 gold is well worth it. May you enjoy your newly renewed economy from me restoring that waterway.
Thank you. And if you're ever in town again, come by.
Relentless starts walking out like, yeah, everything's free. Yeah, I got it. Immediately walks up to Rothgar and shows him, like, we both got new things. Yes, I like red. You like red. Yeah.
Those look pretty wicked.
They do 3 different types of damage.
I only do one, and it kills people. Well, that's been enough for me so far.
What type of damage is that exactly?
Pulls out Molly the Maul.
Ah.
Crushing.
Smashing damage.
I thought you were gonna say hitting things really fucking hard.
I basically did.
Relentless just kind of chuckles. And just like, did you get anything? I mean, I know we saved up a lot, but I haven't seen the item.
Oh, okay. Puts his maul away, and then like Wonder Woman clinks the braces together. These bad boys. They keep me a little more safe on the battlefield.
I don't think I could put those on my arms. He just kind of flexes and shows like there's no way they could possibly fit. Those are some nice anklets you have there.
Rothgar, you know that when you put these on, they magically formed to your body to the proper size.
I mean, I think as a player I know that, but I don't think Hrothgar
No,
would.
Hrothgar, well, yeah, I mean, he might notice because he did have to put them on.
Oh, he's not gonna mention it. It's one size fits all, but whatever.
They look good on you. Well, on Hrothgar, not on you. Relentless feels like he has to clarify.
Woo! The bird.
All right, so you guys hit the road.
Where are we heading this time?
Well, I'll open it again for you guys. And you know you're heading to a Daromar. And you know it's probably 2.5, 3 days away. And it's a relatively big city. The merchant seems to be more than ready to get there.
How many days has it been? He's paying us 4 gold a day.
Yes. It's been... You guys got to town on the 3rd day. You spent 2 days in town. And today is the 5th day.
Okay.
And so your travels go by relatively nicely. And then you get to the 6th day. Everybody give me perception checks.
Oh no, I rolled decently. Jeez.
It's okay. That was my night last night, Katie, when we were playing D&D. It's pretty bad.
You gotta get it out of your system.
You do.
You just gotta give it to me.
You shut up.
Damn.
I had so many crits.
So many. Stupid.
So, The day seems to go by pretty nice and eventfully. And the driver goes, "This will be our last night into our last day together. So there's a nice little camp spot I like to stay at up ahead. Got some nice trees around it too, and some water for our thirsty friend."
Can I roll an
Sounds
insight on him to see what he means by nice? Like if I can see if he's being like sarcastic about it? Like is it
I
an
said
actually nice place?
Well, it's for your decision.
I mean, it looks
He
pretty
believes where he's taking you guys is nice.
Okay. That's fine. I'm sure it's like, oh, it's my last day with you, and now I can get away with not having to pay you by getting
Yeah.
you all killed.
Here's this
leans-
ambush.
He seems a
Surprise.
little more worried about something else than
Could it be the frost giant?
yeah, it's the frost giant.
We have a winner.
Definitely not the frost giant.
We have a frost giant? I had no idea.
See? You get it.
Could it maybe be the murder owl?
That's it.
Let me zoom in for the streamers.
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun. Playing a big game of Guess
This-
Who.
This map looks a little ritualistic, I won't lie. This is a good setting for a murder spree.
Yeah, thanks Google D&D campsite maps. So
Like to slap this bad boy? It's got so much room for
in,
dead
in the
bodies.
center of this, you guys have made a fire. Obviously, carts are around you. You can place yourselves where you want. Jorngora is like a bit away from the fire because it's really hot, along with everything else around her. So she's up here, away from it.
Oh yeah, she doesn't like fire. So I gotta boot that.
So I need shifts. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4.
There, I'll take one.
All right, put it in the chat which ones you're gonna take. So Relentless is 2, Zero is 1, Hugh is 4, Aelin is 4, Azir is also 4,
It's a party.
Ocelot is 1.
Azir's double.
I need a 2 and a 3.
Oh, I'm on 2. You have 1, 2, and 4.
I mean, I need a 3. Okay.
Really?
So,
Let's stay up all
Oslight's doing all.
I'm only doing 3.
all right. So, first shift is Hrothgar and Jorngora, and everybody else is asleep. Hrothgar, what would you like to do?
I'll ask if she'll pick me up and hold me above the trees so I can look around.
Ah, Savannah!
The way you
I politely
say-
ask.
yes, say it again. How do you say it?
I politely ask her if she'll hold me up and like get me up high enough so I can look over the trees with her, so we can keep watch.
You don't see the faint blue glow, and she reaches down and picks you up and holds you up high. And she's like, how high? And she's standing at her full 22 feet and like arm above her head. So
I want to
you're
be
goddamn up there.
Simba right now. I want her hands in my armpits holding up as high as she can. I want to see the elephant graveyard.
Everything the light touches.
You're standing in her hand and like she has her fingers up so you can like hold on to them so you don't fall up, but it's like the whole way up, way over her head. So you can see everything around you. So if you're keeping watch, your perception is at advantage.
Awesome. I will do that. Neat.
The most you see is a couple of other carts and a few other campsites uh, along the road from some other merchants. It seems to be a pretty popular area to stop and sleep.
Alright, maybe like 10 minutes or so before my watch is going to be over, I'll have her like put me back on her shoulder or something so we can chat. Because it seems pretty safe.
Yeah. She lowers you down and puts you on her shoulder. And she's like walking around the campsite and around the road. Like kind of like a patrol-ish situation, and you notice like you can't really even hear her footsteps.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna kind of remove the dread helm so the eyes aren't burning little coals. And his little peepers are gonna look over the side of her face while she's kind of intent on her duties. And he'll smile and then mention to her in Giant that she reminds him of his daughter.
She's gonna stop at the time and like pick you up so she can like look at you and hold her in her hand, and she's like looks at you confused, and she's like, how so? I mean, and she looks up and down and she's like, I'm pretty sure I'm much taller than any kin you would have.
He gets a little embarrassed and puts the dread helm back on really fast. Tries to be serious.
She kind of frowns when you do that.
Well, it's you could put me down now. I think the shift is about over. I need to wake up the next watch. But it's the skin. It's blue like yours.
She looks like confused at you, and she puts you down. She's like, what do you mean blue like mine? And she's just like absolutely confused by what you're saying.
Well, she's not mine by blood. She's mine by war. I found her. She was the product of a drow slave to an orc chief. She's a half orc, but she's not green or gray like they usually are. She's more like, like you, like the drow. It's kind of like the sky on a good day. It's pretty. But she's strong-willed like you. Very stubborn.
She smiles at that, and she's like, oh, I understand. I'm
Yeah.
kind of like her then. I was adopted by my family.
Oh, really?
Yep. I was found in the forest as a
So,
baby, and
the Jarl, is he a frost giant as well, or another giant?
yes, my parents are frost giants.
Ah,
There are a few humans that live among my tribe, ones that have proven themselves.
oh, that's impressive. Humans are wily. Creatures, they can do many things.
Yes, they are.
Well, I don't know how much sleep you need, but I'm getting pretty tired, so I need to go wake them up.
All right. She looks at you and like pauses for a second. She goes, I would like to meet your daughter one day. That would be interesting.
He starts to walk away and freezes when she says that, and his helmet kind of half turns, and then it just straightens out, and he keeps walking. He doesn't say anything.
She proceeds to sit down back where you guys originally started, and then like just lays down and proceeds to fall asleep.
I shake Relentless. Time to get up. It's your turn.
So Relentless is the only one for shift 2.
Relentless gets up and just kind of shrugs off the sleepies, rubs his eyes a little bit, and just kind of looks around, essentially, doing my job, what I normally do. But he just kind of looks around at everybody that's currently sleeping and just thinking how this group, came together and what it's become, and thinks about, you know, what's transpired and what even brought him here to begin with, and has a brief moment of silence for Kali because he's not quite sure how to even begin other than just for what's expected of him in the next area and how he's going to do it, but he's feeling pretty confident of how we've come together and what we've accomplished so far, that we can accomplish almost anything. And then he glares over at you and he's just like, I'm just not quite sure about that one. It's got a dark
Alright.
passenger.
Give me a perception check.
Not that one.
1d1.
Your night proceeds to go quite smoothly. Ocelot, you're awoken to proceed to do your shift. What are you up to?
Nah, I'm just gonna look around. That's about it.
And your shift proceeds to go quite smoothly as well. Aelin, you, Azir. What are you guys doing?
Ladies first.
I'll look around and do my morning calisthenics.
Alright,
Can you
so
do perception?
Aelin's working out.
Morning calisthenics.
So
She can do
yeah,
both.
you, Azir, what are you guys up to?
I kind of want to check out my little vial of green slime. Been carrying it around, but I have done nothing with it. No tests or anything with it.
Alright, Azir, what are you up to?
I think Azir is just observing the group quietly, sulking.
Alright. Give me an investigation check, you.
Of course.
This is some green shit and it's kind of slimy. You don't know what it is.
Does it burn when I touch it at least?
When you touch it,
If I touch it, I poke it. Because apparently we don't know anything about nothing, so we're just gonna poke it with my finger. Why not?
yeah, it burns.
Yep, that sounds about right for a 1.
Yeah, you feel burnt and you take 1 point of acid damage.
Woohoo!
Ooh.
At least I know a thing about it.
And you quickly draw your finger back.
Thank you. I was going to ask how to do that.
Alright, Aelin, give me a perception check. Azir, are you looking out?
Yeah, I am.
Give me a perception check as well.
Hey.
1 second. Perception. I roll really terribly all the time.
Having hurt myself, I feel that I would go back to doing what I was supposed to be doing.
Azir realizes he hasn't rolled higher than like 5 all night and commits seppuku.
Oh.
You give me a perception check.
Certainly. Woohoo!
Alright,
I can at least
so
do that.
you and Aelin, you hear some people walking up on you. And you realize that they're trying to be stealthy and quiet. And Aelin, you go to investigate and look out forward. And you
Oh,
see
it's that guy again.
the gentleman thief and 2 bandits with him, and you can hear more sneaking around. And like as you look at him, he's just like, quiet. Dusts himself off, and he looks at you, and he is like, now, this time, I will be taking a card.
Are you sure you don't want to visit my furry friend again? With a smirk.
Mm.
Oh, he is one of the prizes I will be taking.
Did you hear that, Ocelot? You're a prize now. Fucking
I was
trophy
gonna-
wife.
I am a
Lucky?
goddamn etch.
Damn.
But he's gonna have to wine and dine me before he fucks me.
At least buy him dinner first. Goodness. I will wake up my friends.
We're your friends.
All right,
Aw.
so you're
For
gonna
now.
start combat. Roll
Yeah.
initiative. You, Azir,
Hell
roll
yeah.
initiative.
Why? I haven't noticed anything's wrong.
He rolled a
You
two.
heard this conversation happen.
It's okay. I don't have a lot
Oh,
of
Jesus
initiative
Christ.
either.
Here, let's see how low I can roll on initiative.
Surely you can't be lower than that.
Oh!
Damn.
Okay, so top of the board is here. Everyone else is currently asleep, and
Proud of you.
And the gentleman thief's coming at us, huh?
You notice there's
is-
something missing from his face. It's one of your gloves.
Yeah, yeah. You don't have
Oh,
to
God,
tell
no.
me. Literally, oh, the movement isn't locked. By the way, Jack.
oh shit, I thought it. Okay,
I'm just, don't mind me over here measuring shit. Oh, I'm measuring from the wrong fucking square.
That would be a really far away to throw gloves.
if there's one thing drunk man Mick drinks a lot can do is win a fucking initiative roll. I think you've been number one on like almost every single one we've done.
Zir is fucking charging. He's charging into the middle of a pack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look straight at the gentlemanly thief person and just be like, you look, oh god. So apparently Azir is now a mixture of French and Russian. You look like you're Mendevan. Oh my fuck it, I give up. Azir talks normal for the rest of the night.
Real life drunk has gotten to fake drunk.
Yeah. I can't even think of the accent. I'll find it again later. I throw my glove at the ground in front of him, and I'm like, we duel.
He's holding his great axe in front of you.
Sweet.
And he's like, duel me? Huh. Do you wish to lose your life so quickly?
Azir shrugs.
He looks concerned at that shrug.
Azir is gonna do a pokey poke, and he's gonna whiff it real hard. And after he goes for it and he dodges so expertly, Azir is gonna cunning action, disengage, and jump back underneath this tree here, and then look at the gentlemanly thief and nod like, huh, not bad.
So when you dodge back, the other two bandits are like ready to attack you, and the gentleman thief like puts up his hand of like, let him retreat back.
And Azir sits there at the ready.
Everybody that is asleep, give me perception checks.
Oh, please. Please wake up.
I'm sorry, Jack. By the way, that cunning action was
Relentless.
actually a dash, not a disengage.
It's fine. Relentless, you're awake. Roll initiative. Ocelot, Hrothgar.
Do I need to roll initiative?
Roll perception. you're awake, roll initiative.
Both of us.
Both of you. Yeah.
Holy crap! Somebody rolled lower than I did.
The gentleman thief is looking straight.
Not as gay as he was last time, or what do you mean?
Ahead. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But
Azir, and he's just like, this one wishes to duel me. Step back. I'll duel him. And he swings and misses, and he whips around his axe for a second swing. And this time he hits. But it slightly just scrapes your arm a bit, and you just, brush it off. Bandit 16 dodges around you. Do not get into that. And aims his crossbow at Aelin. Bandit 2 fires his crossbow at Relentless. And misses.
He gonna learn today.
Bandit 9 aims his crossbow at Ocelot. And fumbles with his crossbow in his hand, but barely keeps it going.
I'm important to the gentleman thief. They shouldn't want to hurt
Relentless.
this gorgeous face.
You're up.
Okay, first things first. I don't like people shooting shit at me.
I've got a barbed pecker for him.
Relentless, as he's approaching Bandit 2, he's kind of looking down at the thoughts and prayers. And it's just like, well, let's give these things a test go.
Does successful.
Wrecked!
Oh god, he really doesn't
You
like being
run
shot.
over and straight just punch him right in the side of the head. And you see the tip go in one side and come out the other. And then you pull it out and he shakes and stumbles to the ground.
Relentless kind of like reels his arms back after throwing just a straight jab like he normally does, and it does all that devastation. He's just like, whoa, and then proceeds to run down to the next one, because I still got another attack in my belt. Thoughts and prayers. She breathes your thought. Get wrecked, scrub.
Max.
That's really what it is. It's not thoughts. It's
I'm changing it right now. It's thoughts and prayers. It's official.
So you run over and you uppercut this guy in the bottom of the chin, and you see the blade close his mouth and push up, and the tip come out of the top of his head. And you shink it down forward, and as you pull your arm away to pull it out, his body comes along. You just throw his body to the side, and then shake the blood off the tip of the blade.
And
Speaking of blood, how much blood flow has gone to use Cloaca after seeing this murderous rampage?
Throbbing cloacas.
Oh baby, we're fully erect at this point.
his
You have two
cloaca's got a
The
cloaca.
cloaca has opened. The sheath is no more. There is only the great sword.
Zoom in on his face for the stream.
Doing it.
Please.
Let's get a little spin action in here. Oh wait, I can't spin. I'm locked.
Yeah, you're locked down.
You're too stiff.
Yeah, he's too stiff.
You're turgid.
You guys ever been to Washington, D.C.? It's like that fucking monument.
Zooms on Ocelot's face.
Oh my god.
Host connection
Aw.
lost.
No.
Your fucking bird boner broke Jack's internet. You're
Why do
like
you say
Kim
that like it's a bad
Kardashian,
thing?
but very, very particular.
Couldn't take it anymore.
So this is
Unlike Kim
great
Kardashian.
because I'm gonna let Jack just do my turns to have him hold person the guy because I gotta take a shower and lay down.
All right, man. I'll
I'll be right back.
I'm like super tired.
I'll miss that booty, man.
I'll miss yours.
So, are you gonna
what
go for another rape or
intentions-
what?
Yeah, what intentions do you have with the gentleman if he lives?
Honestly, I'm a little mad. I'm a little mad at him after the way the last thing went down because like he wouldn't let me help my friend. So I actually have full intentions to just let him get killed.
Can
Yeah,
we make it
Ocelot,
simple?
I'm not lying. Unless Jack intervenes, one of the two of us isn't walking away from this fight.
Yeah, I figured that when you challenged him to a duel, so I was just gonna hold person him and let you have your way about it.
Okay, I'll pass that along to Jack.
Alright, I appreciate it.
Mhm.
Bye guys. Should I leave my fantasy grounds open?
No, you can close it. He can still access your character.
Okay, cool. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Eater tater.
So, Christian, how
What
you
up?
feeling, my man?
Yo, feeling fresh. Those things are devastating.
Yeah. When he
Hey,
was describing mechanically how they were gonna work now, I was just like, damn, that's gonna
you
be.
just made some broken S weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I legitimately want you to rename it Thoughts.
I already did.
Yes.
It is official thoughts. THOTS and prayers. Regardless of what Jack says, that is the name of them now.
He did. He said that they were spelt correctly, not what word was spelled. Exactly.
She breathes, she a thought. Everything breathes, everything catches hands. They rated E for everybody. Oh, these weapons are amazing. So now
Hey,
they do.
did you guys see that Sony announced that the Venom movie is going to be terrible?
Yeah. I've been worried about it for a while, but like every time they have like an announcement, it's worse. You're talking about
I'm
the
glad I didn't get
PG-13
excited
movie.
over it.
Yeah, PG-13. It's like you can't do a Venom movie PG-13. I'm sorry.
It's better than if they tried to do a Carnage movie PG-13.
I mean, you ain't
Yeah, but
wrong.
I've heard that Carnage is like possibly going to be set up in it for like a future film, so why? I think like the only reason to do PG-13 is if you've locked down Tom Holland to come in as Spider-Man, and as far as I know, they have not. So why not just go nuts?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Oh, I'm back.
Don't sound
Don't worry,
so
we did
upset.
a lot of good filler content about bird dicks and it breaking your internet.
Yeah.
And also
Also-
how thoughts is not
All right,
spelled
my
the way you
room
think
should be
it's
back
spelled.
up again.
Tony had to go to bed. His intentions are to put hold person on the duel that Azir is having, so you can help him out.
All right.
And,
And I'm gonna
he
get
doesn't
real
care if
pissed.
the gentleman thief lives or dies. He's mad at him.
Now I'm upset that Tony's not here, so I can't RP being pissed at Tony.
You can be pissed at his character, and then we'll fill him in, or you can watch it on stream later. You know, he might fail the spell roll and you don't even know. You try to do that, so.
Yeah, it's very true.
Wait, are we able to get back in?
Yeah, everybody, please get back in.
Okay.
I had a feeling that the second I punched with these new weapons, the game would break.
It can't handle Swole Cat.
Soul Cat, it's too swole.
Mm-hmm. Way too swole.
So every time I go eat a meal in Monster Hunter World, all I think about is your character when it does the cutscene.
The Meowscular Chef.
Yep.
Yeah.
So swole.
Telling
He's
you.
always rambling on about gains.
Maximum gains. You saw
Yeah, I
the,
had some.
did you see the vegetarian post that I did?
Yeah.
With the Meowscular Chef? It's like, I'd like the vegetarian platter, please. And he just throws down a plate of meat. Gains!
Eat your vegetables.
It's so good. You saw what I put in the Discord chat, right? My brothers.
I did. It was creepy.
Garfield, Tigger, and Pusheen.
Pusheen. My favorite.
Extra swole.
The swollest of swole.
I don't know who Pusheen is.
Alright, looks like everyone's back.
It's like a cute cartoon cat.
Yeah.
Has its own brand. It's kind of like Hello Kitty. But
He
Pusheen.
was being forced to make food for Aelin. Please let me know if it's my turn.
Forced. I wouldn't
Okay.
say forced.
So, upon hearing all this commotion, you see Jorn Gora stand up
Oh.
and
I was
walk
gonna go wake her up anyway.
over here. Before I can get anything. All of the bandits and the gentlemen are just like in
Still want
utter
that card?
shock. And he's just, what? 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 And you see her reach behind her back and pull off her staff, tap it on the ground, and a giant blade shoots out of the scythe. Shoots out of the side of it, making a giant ice scythe.
What?
Yes.
And she looks down at the bandit and goes, "You don't look like a friend," and slams it into the ground as hard as she can and completely misses.
Can she roll intimidation on that?
She doesn't need to. These guys are terrified. And then she, in giant, goes, "I won't miss this time." And rolls again. Oh dear God, the things that are about to happen to this man.
Instant
You
death.
see, you see the blade cut through him, and then as he gets cleaved into, the staff part hits it and shoots each half of his body 10 feet in either direction.
My God.
Oh dear God.
She looks over towards Hrothgar, and she's like, smiling like, "I do good?"
He's just nodding, like in a rhythm.
Looking over at Relentless, seeing what he's done to those two bodies, smiling at him as well. And upon seeing this, the gentleman thief goes, "No, no, no," and you see him stick his hand into his pocket, and he disappears.
Unacceptable. That is not honorable combat.
And the bandits are looking over at him, disappearing, and they're just like, "Hey, see, but ah!" And now it's Ocelot's turn.
And in that
And he
moment, they knew
is-
they fucked up.
Fuming. The gentleman has just disappeared, and you see him just go, "No." And he tries and shoots out a spell at the gentleman's location, and nothing happens. And he's fuming with anger. It goes to Bandit 4's turn. And he turns around and runs the fuck away at full speed, going 60 feet off the map.
pussy.
Our
Then-
legend's gonna grow.
Bandit 17. He stumbles and sprints
Wait,
out
that's
as well.
the dead one.
Oh, wait. Yeah, that is the dead one.
Just his legs are skittering around in the grass.
Aelin, you're up.
Half of them enjoy.
I'd like to stab this guy. Move over here and stabby stab.
All right.
Gotta make sure, my blades are still sharp. Very important.
He's dead.
Real dead.
You come over and give him a quick stab, and as he's looking over at Drangor, and he looks down in his ribs where you stuck your first blade in between them, it's like, and you shove your second one into the other side, crossing the tips inside of him, and then pulling your blades together, cutting open his belly,
Sounds about right.
and he flops over to the ground dead.
This is what I do to people.
Damn. Is anybody even left?
It's your turn, and one bandit hasn't had the chance to run away yet.
Yes. Let me turn that off. We are going to go play fetch.
Does anyone else smell
This guy
that?
bottom corner still alive,
It
right?
smells like a sacrificed the ball.
What was that?
This guy in the bottom left corner is still
Bandit
here, yes?
9.
Yeah, Bandit 9.
Yeah.
All right. 30 feet. All right. Who's around? We're going to start off with a good old spiritual weapon. Channeling my Lord and Savior Ball. I'm going to draw upon the image of the Bone Dagger of Ball, because that sounds awesome. So... Wait, is that even how that works? Yes. Yes,
Yep.
it does. Well, that was worthless. Good job, Bone Dagger. That was a bonus action, and one of these fancy spell slots here. And we are going to swing at his stupid, ugly face, because I don't like these bandits. Oh, at least there's that one. 2, 1, d6 and bludgeoning. Get out of my way, little map.
Spiritual weapons a bonus action?
Yeah.
Spiritual weapon is a bonus
Wow.
action.
Hey!
Oh, pfft. I rolled that on myself. Good job.
G.
Well, this time roll it on the bandit.
Oh, but it was such a good roll, though. Almost
So
as
good.
good. And still good. Bye, Felicia.
Alright, I fixed your health.
Thank you, sir.
So, you want to kill him or just knock him unconscious?
We're going to knock him unconscious.
This bandit falls to the ground unconscious.
This one is mine. Leave him for me.
Hrothgar, you see a bandit running away down the road. You gonna give chase or?
No.
All right,
I'm going to point at. Is Vincent awake?
Vincent is awake.
I'm just gonna. I don't think I can offer the help action mechanically unless I'm next to his target, but just to take that guy out. Pass my turn. Because I know he can do it with his Eldritch Blasts.
Vincent fires away, smiling as he does, and as I don't drop it on the bandit. And you see it,
Max damage.
this, yeah,
Oh, dear
I know,
God.
right? You see this blast go flying out of his hand, and it goes up and over the trees, and you see Vincent lower his hand, like he's actually fighting it a bit with his hand, and it goes shooting straight through the bandit's back and goes out his chest and hits the ground, and the bandit falls forward and just skitters to the ground. And then he goes, somebody else can clean that up. I'm going back to sleep. And turns around and goes back to sleep. And combat is over.
Whose man's is this?
So with my unconscious bandit, I would like to tie him up for now to ensure he doesn't get away.
All right.
And then I suppose I'll toss him on the back of our cart for later. I'm going to do a proper sacrifice today.
All right. You guys do get a full rest.
Awesome.
And this bandit is unconscious in the back of your guys' cart.
My action will be taken at the darkest part of night, so...
Well, it is now morning.
Fair enough.
This is where we're going to end it for the night.
Perfect,
So
perfect. Get it.
Open up your
Yes.
inventory and add 1 frightened, bound, gag, bandit.
You do not add that to your inventory. I'll keep them in the combat tracker.
Yeah, that was just more for your role-playing purposes.
All right. Well, before Christian ends the stream, good night to our viewers.
Thanks for stopping out, everybody. Really appreciate it. Hope you had a good time. Tune in next week. We can see what the Bloodcats get into. Take care.